Dungeons & Drimbus is rated R for rude language, rough violence, and raunchy humor.
I do declare, here's what happened previously on Dungeons & Drimbus. Agatha drops the lip base from the sky. The attorneys regroup, and realizing that Jessica and Monique have both likely contracted the Maya plague, decide to give Jessica the cure. They soldier on. Arriving at the spire, they discover abominations at a strange contraption. Thomas becomes full Bahamut form and obliterates them. Before long, they look through the contraption, realizing the crystals act as a spyglass, and they spot Bearman, Cubboy, and Q in a tussle with the abominations. Not long after that, they see a bone devil, Wrath, crawling into an illusory rock wall in Mount Heartland with Calvin over her shoulder. I do declare, Your Honor is back in session with the season finale!
Calvin's small, kicking body disappears beneath the facade of the illusory rock wall, and you are left staring at nothing but stone.
Well, shit.
All right, gang, we need to rest before we go into this.
Rest? We can't rest. Gary, we gotta go.
Yeah, just do the big dragon boom thing again.
I did that already, and I'm not ready to do it again. I need to rest.
What?
I'm gonna drop like a Toy Story toy on the floor and rest.
All right, quit screwing around, man. Come on, just do the dragon thing. Let's get him.
I cannot just do the dragon thing. It does not work that way.
Does anyone else need to rest before we go in? Because perhaps some of us that feel better...
There's no time to rest. Come on.
I know, but we need to be at our best. Maybe a few of us that feel great can have a look around and make sure that we have the lay of that illusion.
What, so I'm just supposed to leave my fucking boy? I'm just supposed to let him do whatever they want to him when he's right there?
That's not at all what we're saying, obviously. We want to get in there as soon as possible. We just want to be fully equipped and prepared, right?
Right.
Okay, if we did have to leave Thomas behind so that he could rest for a little bit, are we super opposed to that? I don't I mean, we're not fully,
I mean, I'll be honest, I could also do with a little bit of recuperation time.
Okay.
Channeling Bahamut takes it out of you,
That's right.
Well, we can't just sit around all night. We gotta make use of this time somehow.
Okay, so we're splitting up.
The army is growing by the second. You guys want to just sit here and sleep?
If you want a god, then yes, I'm gonna have to sleep.
We need Bahamut and...
Wait, hold up.
And you see Grisabeth has gone to the crystals, the spying crystals that you were using.
She says, look at this, come here.
Okay.
And as you put your eye to the crystal to look through, you get another view of the mountain before you. Lightning crackling in the stormy sky, you watch as the enormous army of abominations marches south, surely presenting a formidable, if not insurmountable, challenge for any in their path. However, you then notice what Grisabeth was speaking of. A pair of abominations that have broken off from the group and are heading in the direction of the spire you now stand on.
Okay, new plan. Thomas, get in my bag. Collapse, sleep, in my bag. I put his collapsed bones into my bag.
Creative.
Into my pack. And I put my invisibility cloak up and I say, hide!
Wait, with the sled down below.
Do you mean you want to go right now and cover the sled?
They're gonna see the sled. We gotta hide it.
Okay. And Viper will cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay.
And so everyone within 30 feet of Viper will have +10 to their stealth, and they also can't be tracked except by magical means, and their footprints won't show up in the snow.
Great.
Okay, you guys, stay here. Invisibility cloaks on. Barbara, here's Thomas. And I hand her my bag.
I don't like this. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Don't jostle him. We need him to sleep.
You know I will. You know I'm gonna because I want to.
It's okay. Just maybe set him down gently.
Jostle.
Fuck. Barbara!
Sorry. I can't help it. You gave me a bag of bones. Of course I'm gonna jostle.
Okay, Gary, with me. And Viper will start walking towards the sled. And although Invisibility cloak is on, although footprints are not showing up, I'm still moving slowly.
I'll follow.
So give me a dexterity check to see how like nimbly you navigate the area around you to see if you beat the abominations to the sled.
Nice. 23.
That is an 18.
Okay. You both climb your way down the mountain, carefully stepping through the snow, moving slowly but steadily, and you make it to the sled as, since you're higher up, you can kind of peer over the edge of the spire, and you see the abominations beginning to work their way up. They are now about 2 or 3 spiral curls away from you as you reach the sled. What would you like to do?
Do I see like a wall of snow that looks weak enough to where if I like hit it, it would gently over the wagon?
Give me an investigation check.
14?
I'm going to say that you find one that you feel like with the right maneuver, you can get the sand to fall in such a way that it would cover the sled.
I would like to try to do so.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, 29.
Okay. With a 29, we see Viper brings out like one of their daggers and then presses it into the wall of snow, and as if carving it out, you see the snow collapse into this fine powdery substance and drape down the mountainside, perfectly covering the sled. You see just like the tiniest corner of gold peeking out of the snow, and then another piece crumbles and completely covers it.
Okay, we're good. We should go back.
Yeah. You take 3 points of necrotic damage as the abominations have climbed enough that you are now within reach of their aura, and you feel that burn through you.
Viper will put a hand on Gary's shoulder to silently say, let's stay here for a moment.
He feels the tapping and he stops moving.
Okay.
Do we see them?
You cannot see them yet because they're rounding the spire, but you can hear them.
Okay.
You hear the...
Viper is going to crouch.
The little eye indicator is close shut. Both of you roll stealth checks for me.
It's 18.
That's a 31.
Okay, Viper, you are crouched and waiting perfectly as the abominations round the corner, and you guys can kind of see each other. It's like that shimmery, like...
Right.
Once you know something's there, you can kind of make it out if you stay focused. And you see that Gary's perfectly invisible, but right in their path, such that they're going to bump into him. And you grab him and pull him back very gently, just enough out of the way, as you both take another 5 points of necrotic damage as the abominations pass you. You see them step over the snow that you placed over the sled, and you can make out the sound of them stepping on the metal beneath the snow, but they don't quite seem to take notice of it, and they continue on up the mountain. They reach the very top of the spire. Everyone up here, what's going on?
Jessica basically immediately covered herself in the cloak of invisibility, and she also took a moment to like brush away footsteps in the snow before the cast without trace was cast. So she's like using the cloak,
Okay.
just like dragging it across the snow a bit, and then puts it on herself and kind of just cowering off to the side like, and I'm just gonna stay right here and stay nice and quiet.
Yeah, Grisabeth and Monique kind of clump up with you. Like, you guys are in the furthest edge, like basically right on the cliff, just waiting there. Barbara, what's going on with you?
Barb also did cover herself before she was jostling Thomas, and she has stopped jostling Thomas. I'll let you know that right now. She's very quiet. Quiet as a little, quieter than a mouse. Quiet, just quiet. It's like death. She might as well be dead.
I did want to say that as soon as the abominations passed us, Viper wanted to start slowly following them at a distance in hopes of doing one of those Last of Us triangle moves from behind.
LOL.
If necessary.
Viper, give me a stealth check.
Okay. That's a 29.
You see the abominations come up.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, Viper included, since you followed along with them, takes 11 points of necrotic damage. You can kind of see the invisibility cloaks get disrupted for half a second, just... The The abominations turn their heads.
As I get close enough, they will also get the additional +10 to their stealth when they're within 30 feet of me.
Thank you.
All of you give me stealth checks.
Does Thomas also have to do a stealth check or no? Because he's in a bag.
I'm gonna say that yours counts as his.
Oh, God.
Okay, cool.
That's a 26 for Viper.
With advantage, it comes to a 27.
Barb and Thomas got a 29.
Perfect. The abominations look around and then turn and head back down the mountain.
Oh my god.
And Viper makes sure that they're not in their path.
Yeah, you kind of just barely scoot out of the way, like dagger in hand.
Yeah.
Gary will now make his way up.
Give me a stealth check.
34.
Yeah, Gary, you actually... You're so stealthy, you don't even take the damage. You, like, crawl up on the wall like
Jesus.
Spider-Man and around them, avoiding them.
And he doesn't see anything up there, so he's like, is anybody there?
And as soon as the abominations are far enough away, Viper will, like, lift the hood so that she's just a floating head.
Okay, Gary will be a floating head on the floor because he's short.
Everyone, are you okay?
Yeah, we're okay.
You see Grisabeth comes out, also floating head.
Jessica pulls back the hood and goes, yeah, I'm okay.
Okay, the sled's covered, so they don't know we're here. Okay, so Thomas is a pile of bones in my bag.
Yeah, do you want that back? Do you
Oh,
want
yeah,
that
yeah, no, I'll take it, yeah, thank
All
you.
right, here you
And
go.
gently, and as, like, Viper takes the bag, you hear the, like, of the bones as she, like...
I'm telling you, should really just give it a shake. If you're feeling a type of way, you should really just shake it, honestly. It's a really good stress
I mean, I
relief,
might,
honestly.
just maybe not this very second, because...
Yeah.
No, I understand, yeah. I do believe that Jessica needs to sleep for the cure, no?
Let me check. Dearest Bahamut, if I rest a long time,
Bahamut's sleeping right now. He's in a backpack. I don't know what to tell you.
would I be cured? Would I be good?
You get the feeling that the cure is doing its thing in your body and it's just gonna take time. You have already gone from -2 to -1 in the last couple of hours. You get the feeling -1 to back to normal might not even be possible till maybe 24 hours after that.
Okay. I mean, I would like to rest just to recover the health that I have and to get all the magic lined up and ready to go.
Right.
But if we feel that we can't afford that time, I can make do.
I think, as counterintuitive as it feels, we stand the best chance of recovering that boy if we all are at our bests. So, whoever doesn't need to rest, why don't we, I don't know, do a little recon, something like that, while everybody who needs to rest stays here.
Okay, well, we should let Saxon know about the direction they're headed.
I agree.
Hello?
Hi.
We spotted a patrol. The army's headed south.
Yes, the giant army of abominations is headed towards where we came from.
He just holds it to Viper.
To Viper. Viper steps up and is like, we saw an army of abominations, those horrible shadow creatures, heading in the direction we came from, aka where you currently are coming from.
Oh, big.
Formidable, sir.
All right. We'll make do.
Yes, sir.
How much time do we have?
Really, sir, we don't. Every second,
He grabs it back like,
really, sir, we don't have much time. Every second, they're making more and more of them. Be advised, me and Agent Viper, we're planning to do a recon mission right now.
Yes.
All right.
Just to give you a frame of reference, we arrived a short time ago on location, and the army just left.
Okay. Be smart. We trust you. Give us updates as soon as you have them. We'll fight like our lives depend on it.
Yes, sir.
We may have to go dark, sir. I don't know how well we can communicate inside the nest.
We will be there to back you up as soon as we can.
Yes, sir. Good luck, sir.
May you find your way.
Okay, I recommend that someone able-bodied stay behind to watch those who are resting.
I could stay up, but I could really use the rest.
Okay. Barbara, how are you feeling?
I feel great. Besides what just happened with the bombs, I'm good. I think I'm good.
Okay. Grisabeth, how are you feeling?
I'm okay. If you need me to stay up, I can, but I don't even know if I can rest with all of this going on. Gary, should I come with you? Should I stay here? What do you think?
I think you should stay here, Chris.
Okay. It feels wrong, but I probably should be at my best before we go into whatever's waiting for us.
Grizz, it's probably best that Thomas stay here just in case something terrible happens with my bag. It would just be awful.
Yeah,
could
probably
you-
a bad thing to lose the god dragon guy. I'll take care of him, don't worry.
Okay.
Jessica, Monique, and I guess myself too. Lay the fuck down, go to sleep. We gotta get to Calvin as quick as we can, okay? So, good night. The rest of you get the fuck out of here.
Good night. Before that, Jessica sits crisscross applesauce, and purple smoke starts to come around her as like she kind of is muttering to herself.
Yeah.
And she ritually casts tiny hut
Nice.
around us, and that will mean that the atmosphere inside the space is comfortable and dry, regardless of the weather outside. So no one needs to sleep cold this evening.
Beautiful.
Because I know very well the effects of sleeping in the snow.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, just get you stay inside, all right? No funny business.
Oh, I plan to. And Jessica like curls up on her side, and she takes like her spell book and uses that as a pillow. She's like, osmosis and all that.
Did you mean homeostasis?
The spells in the book are gonna go into my brain if it's close to the.
Oh,
if it's,
yeah. Okay.
You know.
Elizabeth comes up to you, Gary, and says,
I love you, Mr. Mogbile. Be safe, okay?
I love you too. And he's gonna hug her tight.
yeah, she hugs you back.
Oh.
So Viper and Gary are the ones heading out.
And
yeah?
Barbara.
And Barbara.
Yes.
All of you give me a perception check.
Okay. Pass without trace lasts an hour, so that's just for our brains.
Dude, it's gonna wear off while we're in the fucking thick of it.
Yeah, that's a 9 for perception.
5 for perception.
Fuck. Oh no.
Barbara got an 18 with her fucking laser eyes, I guess. So
Yeah, literal laser
What do
eyes.
your robot eyes see?
Okay, Barbara, you are the only one to notice this.
okay.
But you guys begin to walk your way down the spire, and Barbara, you spot it and put a hand out to stop the two of them in their tracks. As you reach the base of the spire, you see another abomination just ahead of you. However, this one seems to have come out of the spire you are on. Much like you saw them coming out of the mountain earlier.
So how close is it?
You guys were coming down around the bend, and it came out ahead of you and is going away. So you guys are currently behind it and like out of range of its aura. Like you're okay for right now.
Okay. Cloaks are up. Are our cloaks
Yes,
up?
yes.
Yes.
You guys forgot, and you throw your hoods back over as you see the
Floating
abomination.
heads.
So cloak's already up, so you're just gonna have to feel my hand, I guess, go out and stop you. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna like peek an eye out of my cloak and just like look at you two, and then like look towards the abomination, like like follow my eyes, like you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm just gonna hope you saw it, because then I'm putting my cloak back on. Thank you very much.
Where did that come from?
Okay, oh, I saw it come out of the spire, but
Out of the spire.
out of the spire. Did I stutter?
Where?
There. And Bob will point to where she saw it come from. Be like, there, that general. Can you see my
Boy, I
fingers?
can't see where you're pointing.
God damn it. She'll like unload the coat off. She'll roll up a thing. She's rolling up a sleeve and she point right there.
It's like a Snuggie. You poke a hand out of the giant sleeve.
yeah, it's just like there, right there.
Can Viper approach the spire and see if there's an illusion there too? Or if
The spire is real,
right.
but if you go to where Barbara is pointing,
that's what I mean. I'd like
and
to
you
go.
put your hand goes through.
Okay, I turn, I make sure the coast is clear. I show my face and I go watch me, like eyes point to myself.
Bob nods.
I lift my sleeve and I put my hand through, and then I raise my eyebrows and are like, what the fuck? And then I'd like to slowly walk through it.
You guys following?
Yeah, I was gonna go.
I guess fucking so.
You cross the illusory wall and find yourself in a cavernous structure. Somehow, the interior of the spire has been hollowed out. Metal framework holds it up, and in the center of the open space, you see a large mechanical structure. It is round and funnel-like, lined with soul gems that glow with each strike of lightning. At the base of the structure is a crackling orb, from which a dark, ink-black vaporous substance drips, beginning to form a humanoid shape. An abomination. this siphon is here.
The siphon.
Okay. So, is there anyone else in the spire? Perception check. Perception check.
Do not see anyone in the spire at the moment.
At the moment. Right, okay. Barb is gonna move her ass. She's going and can I take the soul gems? Can I take them out of I want them.
Will it hurt? Will it hurt? Wait, hold on.
Roll a Arcana check.
Barbara got a 14.
That's a 17.
Okay, that's not bad. So the two of you put your heads together, you kind of take this, and Gary, you're standing there like, what? You're like, the siphon?
Why did my inner narration tell me the siphon? I don't know what the siphon is.
And Barbara and Viper are like all over this thing. And as you guys study it, you see that the gems are inlaid. They could be manipulated. However, they continue to pulse with electricity and lightning. And you gather that these are likely harnessing the storm outside somehow. Mm-hmm. So if you were to touch it at the wrong moment, you would essentially get struck by lightning. So perhaps grabbing the gems that are built into the giant structure is not the wisest move.
Wait, Barbara, wait.
What?
It might electrocute you if you touch it too quickly. It's pulling power from the storm. Okay, wait. Okay.
So touch it slowly? What do you want me to...
What are you doing?
Gary, this is where abominations are made. We thought they were in the mountain, and they're right here, right where we are. No, Barbara, wait. Barbara, we have to... There's probably another mechanism that we can use, or we should try to stop the lightning from, like, if we can block the storm.
Stop lightning?
I'm not saying to stop the lightning. I'm saying to block it somehow.
How big is the orb?
The orb is roughly bowling ball size.
Barbara, you don't need to grab it. I could just mage hand that.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Okay, yeah. That or we just break the orb?
Oh, yes, breaking the orb also affects... I wouldn't...
you want to drink this?
I would not drink the liquid.
No, it was a question.
Okay. Very quickly, before we take action, what are the chances of there being some sort of magical alarm in place to notify someone within that big mountain that something is happening out here?
Let me see.
And I take out my war pick and do detect magic.
Well, damn.
So obviously Gary's not that knowledgeable, but he's attempting to use it as like a metal detector for magical alarms or traps. So
yeah, give me a difficult Arcana check.
Can we help him? We say, go, Gary.
natural 1. Natural 1.
Heads or tails, Gary?
Oh, no.
Heads.
Okay. You are confident there is no alarm here.
I don't like that.
Okay, well, I don't detect anything else, guys, so he puts it away.
All right, so the orb. So let's get that,
Yeah, maybe we should still use Mage Hand at first to, like, touch it.
Oh, no, yeah, don't electrocute yourself. I'll grab it.
No, right, yeah. No, I'll do it later. I'll save that for later.
This is weird. Can we, like, hack it and make good abominations?
Do you know how to do that, Mr. Mogbile?
I was hoping someone with more magical knowledge might know. Just
right.
That's fair. No, hey, that's honestly actually a really good question, and I'm surprised it hasn't come up before.
Oh God, I wish Tiro were here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna grab the orb.
All right, grab the orb. But there's they have another siphon somewhere, and they're still. I'm just saying, at some point,
the mage hand just comes out of Gary's chest while he's like giving you attitude, and it fucking grabs
like backhands the orb.
Slaps it off the pedestal.
Okay, give me an Arcana check just to see if you can like summon your will to pry it out of place, because the thing is not heavy, but it is secured in.
Can I make an intelligence check to see if enlarge reduce might help us? Because you can do a creature or an object. If we made it smaller?
Check.
Okay, that's a 13.
You get the feeling that enlarge reduce would likely have some manner of effect, mostly because you can tell that this is very carefully tuned. So if you were to move something out of place or proportions were to change, the function would likely be altered. However, with the 13, you can't quite guess at in which way based on which effect. You just know that enlarge reduce would likely change something.
Okay. Wait, Gary, wait. I can make it smaller. I've been practicing. I can make it smaller. Give me a second. And I cast enlarge reduce, emphasis on the reduce.
You reduce the orb, and we see it kind of compress. And Viper, it is like it resists your spell almost. You see, you're casting, and it vibrates.
Come on.
as it compresses basically down to the size from a bowling ball to 1/8, basically the size of like
A magic
baseball.
8-ball.
Yeah. And so, and it falls out of place and like down onto the ground. And you see that it is still attracting that energy and it is still dripping some of that substance. But now the like quarter-formed abomination that was being created is just kind of lying there, and you see some of the ink and vapor just kind of spilling off onto the floor in very small doses. And you see that this, and like you can just tell from looking at it, it is overloading with energy, almost like now in its smaller form, it can't quite handle what it is receiving. And you hear like a very small crack. It doesn't seem like it is about to blow or anything like that, but it definitely seems like it is breaking.
Yeah, I was about to say, did we just accidentally create a bomb?
I mean, would that be so bad? I don't know.
But everyone's asleep upstairs. That'd be pretty bad, no?
But no, it's like a small bomb. Like, I don't think it would really affect them.
Is it still technically connected or no?
No, it has fallen.
Just grab, just grab.
So
pick it up.
Yeah, pick it up with Mage Hand. Wait, when that happens, does the lightning stop touching the
The
sword?
lightning is still striking the siphon.
Okay.
And it is trying, like, it is making its way to the orb. It's kind of like when you see one of those plasma balls that you put your finger. It's like lightning's going everywhere, but it is trying to attract as much of that energy as it can. But it is not very good at doing so anymore.
I'll pick it up with Mage Hand just till we
Okay.
get out of here. Yeah.
We see the Mage Hand burst out of Gary's chest and pick up the baseball, kind of like toss it up in the air. Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of hold it while we walk. Like,
Okay. What should we do with it? We can't. If someone comes to investigate and we hide, they can't find this.
Yeah, no, we're taking it. We're
but
we're not
like
gonna be in here for that long. How long do you guys want to be in here?
the spell will end, is what I'm trying to say, and it will then become
Reduce?
its bigger size. Yeah.
Oh, so let's get out of here right now.
Yeah.
You begin to walk out of the spire you are on, and you do your best to stay hidden from the never-ending squadron of abominations as the mountain towers over your surroundings, incessantly struck by lightning. Likewise, your spire is consistently being struck, along with what you presume are the other spires. You can vaguely see the strikes to the southwest and the northeast, but the presumed northwestern spire is obscured by Mount Heartland itself.
So we just wait till it. When is your spell gonna? Wear off?
Yeah, just a minute. So it's probably
So it's there we go. Oh my God, it's huge. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Oh, look at it. That's crazy.
Oh, they grow up so
Wow.
fast.
Yeah.
But listen, I can't do that many times.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking we should probably go fuck up the other spires to stop the abomination Build-A-Bear workshop that's going on right now.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, well, I don't want to lug a bowling ball around, so...
Right.
Well, I'll hold it for a little bit. I got you. How long do we think this is gonna take?
Honestly, it might take a bit long enough for a rest, I would say, perhaps.
All right, onward. Okay. Tally ho, and Barbara's gonna start moving.
And then, disturbed by their discovery of the many funnels inside of the spires, Viper, Gary, and Bob head on to deal with the remaining spires while the rest of the team rests. Along the way, they get into a few scuffles with the abominations, but they secure 3 of the orbs. Not without incident, though. The northeastern spire entirely collapses as the orb is exploded in a dangerous fight. Nonetheless, the daring trio make their escape as the crew up on the mountaintop prepare for the final showdown. I do declare, let's see what they're up to.
In the meantime, Jessica Grisabeth sees you meditating, and she actually comes up with a small cup of tea.
How you feeling, Jessica?
I'm doing all right. The meditation is always helpful, insightful. Yeah. How are you doing?
You see, she holds the cup up and kind of tries to steady one of her hands that's shaking, and she goes,
I'm a little nervous, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that makes absolutely perfect sense.
Yeah. You've had quite the turnaround, huh?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, well,
yeah, and she offers you the cup of tea.
I'll take it.
she goes, okay, look, I don't know how to say this, but I know I gotta say it, so, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah.
I can't forgive you for what you did before. But I am very grateful for all you've done since I met you. We all make mistakes. Not quite like you, but still. I hope that whatever happens here today, it gives you some peace.
Thank you, Grisbeth. I can't quite express, thank you.
Do you need anything? Is there anything I can do for you?
No, you've done more than enough. Thank you. And Jessica will take some sips of the tea whilst it's still hot.
She goes, all right, well, I'll leave you to it then.
Rest well, Grisabeth.
Thank you.
She lays down, but she's fiddling, very much trying to quiet her mind. It seems like it will not be an easy task for her today. Thomas, you are sleeping inside of a bag.
Yep.
Inside of the bag, as you meditate, as you have now taken to doing when you rest, Bahamut speaks to you.
This is it, Thomas. We're on the precipice now.
It's time, huh? We're gonna do it.
We'll try, at least.
Right. Bahamut,
Yes.
thank you.
For?
I don't know. Just, it's been a rocky road, and there were times where it felt like I was alone, and yet I still had you with me. So, just thank you.
15 years ago, some of my most devoted followers picked up a very dangerous lead. I was weak back then, unable to be more than a silent observer. Before their work could culminate, they were cut down, and in those final moments, there was no fear. Only faith and an honest plea. Protection for their son. Over the years, I exerted what power I could to help in minuscule ways, to silently guide. Now, I laugh, as said son protects me and the ideals I stand for. Your parents would be very proud, Thomas, as was your uncle.
Thank you. And I'm your favorite, right? Out of all the followers?
Yes, pretty much.
That's what I want to hear.
And I also just wanted to thank you for going on this journey with me. I know you didn't have much of a choice, but it is not often that another will risk everything for the sake of others. You and your companions have renewed my faith in people. That justice exists intrinsically within us all, despite our flaws. We just need the right people to bring it out. Whatever happens, I am proud to have had you as my assistant.
And you. If I could go back in time, Bahamut, I would have Gary break that staff all over again.
That is oddly the sweetest thing I've ever heard.
Aw.
Very well. Shall we rest?
We shall.
All right, and the bones snore more deeply as Barbara, Viper, and Gary arrive on the mountain. You have climbed the rest of the way up. You see Monique pacing around outside of the tiny hut, and she goes, "Oh my God, you're back! How'd it go? You good?"
Yeah, no, it went great. We might have blown up one of the spires, but it's far away from us, so hopefully it just takes attention
All
that
right,
way.
well,
But
fuck them.
It was kind of awesome. It was really metal.
it was kind of really cool. Also, we have 3 of the orbs that were making abominations if we need anything to go kablooey in there.
Let's make sure that is very safely kept.
Oh yeah, they're in the saddlebag, so they're separate.
Okay.
I don't know how easy it's gonna be to sleep. I'm pretty sure they're gonna search every spire right now.
I need to nap at the very least, just so I can have I can recover a spell slot.
I'm feeling okay. I got some rest for a little while. If you want, I can keep a lookout.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Viper will drape the invisibility cloak in such a way to cover but also be a blanket of sorts.
Yeah, I'm gonna go spoon my wife.
Yeah, your wife sees you and she goes, "Oh my God, Gary!" And she throws herself around and she goes,
Oh, this is so much better. Oh.
and you all settle in. Those of you who stayed, you may long rest. Those of you who went out, you may short rest. You rise before the sun on the 28th of winter, cycle 1224, the final and most important day of the year. Perhaps the most important day for centuries to come. The crisp, cold air nips at your skin, and electricity literally fills the air. The time has come.
I'll get up and see if Monique is okay.
Yeah, Monique is there, and she says, yeah. All right, we're looking good.
All right. Miss Feltcher, how are you feeling?
I am feeling well rested. Still recovering, of course, in the mire
Sure.
situation. But hopefully, maybe some point during the day, the last of the effects of that old nasty bitch will wear off,
Yeah.
But as of now, I am prepared and ready. Ready, but maybe I don't know. It's gonna be a
understand.
lot
No, yeah.
going on
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. Thomas?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning, Thomas. How did you sleep?
I slept like a baby. Thank you for asking.
Wow.
How did you all do while I was asleep?
Well, news for some of you, actually. The spies around, all four, including the one that we're in right now, were creating abominations, right? Like right there.
I like the use of the word "were" in that sentence.
Yes, that's a very important word because you see, and she gestures to the snow globe that Gary is holding of the horses. Inside the horses' saddlebags are 3 of these magical orbs that were creating the abominations. One of them blew up, but not us, we're fine, but it will bring attention. However, it's on the opposite side than we are, so I'd say that's pretty ideal, actually.
Okay.
So less abominations are being made continuously throughout the night/day, and we have 3 possible grenades.
Fantasy grenade.
Fantasy grenades.
Pretty cool.
Grenades.
Within the saddlebags of our horses within the snow globe.
Wow.
Okay, well then what are we waiting for? Let's go get my boy.
Wait, most important meal of the day. Everybody's got to be at the best, so, scrounge up some breakfast.
Oh, no. I'm on an intermittent fast. I cannot eat till 12.
Gary, I was saving this for when you got homesick, but I don't know, we might not be around to get sick anymore.
And she pulls out a little bag from her purse, and she says,
Would anyone like some swamp rat jerky?
And Viper's snakes against her will just start her head towards the jerky.
Oh, here you go.
And she's just
no! They start trying to take the bag. Hey!
Oh, sorry. I know. And Viper pulls them back, and they hiss a little bit, and she's like, "Oh, be nice. Thank you, Chris. That will do perfectly. Thank you."
Okay, Care Bear.
Yeah, Gary will grab a fistful and go.
Gary, your next roll will get a +1 after eating your favorite food.
Okay, so I suppose we'll probably won't pass without trace at least to start on our way over, yes?
Yeah, for sure.
That one and the one that Jessica can do that we all talk telepathically, so we don't have to make noise.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
pretty
I
good.
was just about to go ahead and do that little ritual casting, and Jessica sits cross-legged and says, "Okay, if everyone would join me, please."
Oh, sure, yeah.
So purple smoke emits from Jessica's palms and goes into the person on either side, and the smoke enwraps around everyone until the circle completes. Then everyone is telepathically bonded.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Check, mic check. Hello, y'all hear me
hey.
out there?
Oh, hey.
Oh my God,
yeah.
turn it down, Mr.
I
Mogbile.
hear you. All right, so just remember, stay close. As long as you're next to me, you'll gain the benefit. And Viper will look down and focus and move her hands, and then a willowy shadow will come out of her and encapsulate everyone.
Beautiful. We going?
We go.
You going?
Yeah.
Okay. You begin your trek up the path to Mount Heartland. The road is surprisingly clear this morning. In fact, the calmness of the area leading to the illusory rock face is so disorienting that, for a moment, you're not sure you're in the right spot. Sure enough, as you press in, you find yourself in a dim, cavernous chamber. Surrounded by at least 20 abominations, standing in 2 single-file lines against the left and right walls of the chamber, spanning about 30 feet.
Is there anyone else there?
No.
Okay, that's good.
You all take 10 points of necrotic damage immediately. Please roll stealth checks. If it is beneath a 20, give me the number. If not, just say you're good.
Yeah, just remember you get advantage with the invisibility cloaks and then a +10.
Oh.
All right, everyone's good?
Yep.
Yeah.
You take the hit, but you remain concealed. You manage to muffle your grunts. What do you do?
In Viper's head, they would just like to say, okay, strong start.
Quite the welcoming committee.
Into the lion's den we go.
The rock wall, I assume.
I suppose.
Barbara's gonna make her way that way.
Okay, and doing what?
I'm gonna put like a hand up to try and
As you press a hand to the wall, Barbara, your hand goes through, revealing yet another illusory wall.
Classic.
I think we should just all go through, really.
All right.
You pass through the wall and find yourselves squeezing into a much tighter alcove. Directly ahead of you is a symbol carved into the wall. It is round, like an official seal. You see a 5-headed dragon with a circular border bearing the letters LLC.
Just a 5-headed dragon right there.
I'm familiar with that one.
Are we gonna push forward, or do you think the door's to our sides?
I don't know, just feel around.
Jessica will start kind of lightly patting the wall on the left side.
Yeah. Barbara's gonna touch the forward wall.
And Viper will touch the right, I
All
suppose.
right, you all grope the walls and do not find passage through any of them.
Okay.
Touch the floor. Just kidding. Touch the seal. Can I touch the seal, please?
Yeah, you touch the seal and you don't feel anything.
I mean, can it be pushed in like a button?
It does not seem to push in, but Jessica, as you study it, give me a history check.
Okay. The history check is a 10.
Believe it or not, that is enough.
Thank God.
Jessica, as you look at this seal, something clicks in your head. The grooves, the way that it is carved, is deeper than these kinds of emblems usually are. And it immediately seems to remind you of the way that you had Frank's tomb engraved.
Oh. Okay, I see. Yeah. Can somebody go ahead and just give a little cut on the hand here, please?
Oh, sure.
You shouldn't ask that so openly in this group, but
On the hand, just a little bit.
Just any blood's gonna work?
I might be being paranoid, but a lot of things can be done with your blood.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, we could wipe it down.
We could wipe it down. I think that's a great idea.
I don't think it would go away.
If it's what it is, what I'm thinking it is, I think it's gonna absorb it. It seems like a very porous kind of rock,
If it's absorbent, then I have no fear. However, if you were just gonna leave behind your blood, I don't know if she deals with any fey creatures.
And
considering
Jessica's
she's
just
a
gonna
fey, so.
take the knife out of Viper's hand and go,
Any
okay.
blood
And
can just
Jessica cuts her hand and places it on the
As
seal.
Jessica places the hand on the seal, we see the blood almost get sucked from the small wound and onto it. It fills the grooves and then gets absorbed into the seal, and you see it press into the wall. And the seal rotates. The dragon on the seal seems to animate,
Lovely.
filling with color as the blood seeps into the cracks in the stone.
Time for a riddle.
You hear all 5 heads speak at once.
Oh, it's gonna know.
Speak the truth. Our body's true name.
Oh, Tiamat.
Nothing happens.
Oh.
Is it not her true name?
Speak the truth. Our body's true name.
Can any of us say it, or could Jessica say it?
I believe it has to be Jessica because it's her blood.
Say stuff, Jessica.
Yeah, just throw words.
Bahamut.
Speak the truth. Our body's true name.
Hagatha Christie.
Speak the truth. Our body's true name.
Lords and Ladies Correctional Facility. What's the...
So close.
I'm terrible.
Okay, it could be your name, as in, like, the body is now made up of your blood.
Jessica Feltcher.
Speak the truth. Our body's true name.
It's very nice of it to give us so many chances. I think it's the full LLC.
Lords of Law and Correction?
You say Lords of Law and Correction, and you see the seal click into the wall and rotate.
There we go. Okay.
As it rotates, you hear clicks like a safe's tumbler, and as the symbol turns right side up again, one of the 5 heads lifts off to look at you.
Oh.
It is shaped like a dragon and made of beautiful, shimmering, opalescent stone. Speak the truth.
Something about Opula? Who runs Opula? Is it Richard? Or not Richard? Dinglebottom? What's it? Figglesbottom.
The dragon stone raises an eyebrow at you.
Oh my god.
We have to say his name. Lord Figglesbottom?
Oh. Reginald Figglesbottom.
It once again rotates and clicks.
There we go.
This time, the second head lifts up. It is mossy and skeletal, with mud filling the cracks and crevices of the bone. Speak the truth.
It's Maximilian something.
Bartholomew.
You can't say it.
No, you can't.
We have to.
Thomas, roll a d20.
Oh, fucking God.
God.
I got a 12.
Thomas, you say Millie, and you hear it get amplified out loud. Millie, 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 Millie. Echoing through the chamber with all the abominations.
Oh,
Maximilian Bartholomew.
the 3rd.
So close.
The 2nd.
The head goes so close. The 4th. Somebody roll a history check. One of you saying
Okay,
this.
I got it.
14.
It's a 12, yeah, for me.
Okay, you both remember. Bartholomew is his middle name.
All right. Monique knows, right?
Monique goes, yeah, Robertson? No, Rodriguez.
Maximilian Bartholomew Rodriguez III?
Senior? He had something extra in there.
Maximilian Bartholomew Rodriguez Jr. III.
It clicks. A third rotation. A third rotation. An icy skull with devil-like horns lifts up this time.
Zephrine Thistle.
Once again, the lock rotates. The penultimate head lifts up. Strong features, square jaw, made of what appears to be sandstone.
Saxon Brunt.
Yet again, the lock rotates. You see a haggard face, almost bird-like, constructed of porous slate stone, not unlike the cliffs of the west coast.
Agatha Christie.
With that, the symbol rotates once more, and you hear something set in place. The insignia sinks into the rock face, and it begins to slide down and out of the way.
God, could you imagine having to be here all the time and do that every time you had to clock into work? I think I'd gouge my eyes out.
Well, if you needed the blood, gouging your eyes out would be an excellent method.
It's very, very true.
Anyway, shall we?
We
and Jessica's gonna, sneak along.
You step across the threshold into unnatural darkness, to strange noises. As you all enter the chamber, the door slides up behind you. You hear grunts. A struggle. It is hard to make out in the darkness. But as you step forward, a torch casts a dim light. You hear shouting. A young boy's shouting. Not 20 feet away is Calvin. Kicking and screaming, "No! Leave me alone! Go away!" As Agatha Christie stands over him.
Fuck me, bro.
Just sit still!
Is her back towards us?
Her back is toward you.
Hey, you guys, if you stay next to me, I can do a sneak attack with advantage.
Let's go together.
Okay.
I'm gonna put a cloaked hand on her shoulder.
Okay.
And when we get close enough, I'm going to do a sneak attack right into her back.
Roll that. With advantage.
Fuck me.
Jesus.
Natural 20, and I'm not even exaggerating.
Can I attack
Okay.
with her at the same time?
It's a trap. It's a fucking trap, guys. Come
Yeah, I'll let you attack
on.
at the same time.
Probably, but I rolled really well, so I'm really excited anyway.
One was 18, the other one is...
The 18 misses.
Wow, 29.
Okay, that hits. Roll for damage.
At the same time, Jessica's going to cast Resistance on Gary.
Yeah, Jessica, you see the vague, invisible shapes begin moving in unison. Grisabeth, clutches her chest and, reaches out. Gary is already gone before she can even touch his arm. She is in shock. She kind of holds onto you, Jessica, as you cast resistance onto them.
72 damage.
Whoa. I only do 7.
Viper, Gary, you both move forward in unison. You silently withdraw your weapons, and Hagatha, with her back turned to you, suddenly feels the rapier and the dagger go right into her back. She's turns.
Shit! We need to go, boy! They'll kill you!
Everyone roll for initiative.
Oh, are you fucking joking? I rolled a 0 for my initiative roll.
Oh.
I have a -1 on my initiative rolls, so I rolled a natural 1.
Jessica did not get to play the game. So that's good.
Jessica enters a coma.
Viper rolled a 6.
I got a 9.
Barbara 5.
If we all rolled low, then it kind of evens out, right?
18.
Gary, does a 30 hit you?
Not does a 30 hit you.
Yeah, it does.
What about a 22?
A 30 and a 22 is just at my fucking armor class, so yeah.
It's not her. We walked into her going, "Oh, sit still," to this little kid. Like, it's not her. Come on.
I don't. It can't be. Like, it
Then
can't be.
if it's someone else, then I hope we still did that damage.
Well, I'm wondering if it's someone good that's trying to...
Oh, that would kind of really suck, yeah.
Are we about to mark Lucky shows up on our bingo sheet as he, transforms back out of, a disguised form?
Could you imagine?
my God, it is Lucky!
Look at his face. Look at John's face.
It is fucking Lucky! We just marked Lucky! Gary, you take 51 points of damage as Hagatha turns around and strikes her claws across your chest and then punches you across the cheek and then uppercut on the chin for 51 points of damage.
Jesus
And then
Christ.
grabs Calvin to her chest.
51 points of damage. And then Gary's going to retaliate. So when you take damage from a creature that's within 5 feet of you, you can use your reaction to make a melee weapon attack against that creature.
Okay.
24.
That just barely hits. Roll for
Jesus
damage.
Jesus
Christ.
Christ. Sorry, anybody that needs to roll that eye. God damn. Okay, well, he'll get a little lick in with 10 damage from a rapier.
You strike that rapier across and you hear, "Ah! Ah!" Gary, it is then your turn.
Awesome. So her back's still to me?
Kind of like shielding Calvin.
Okay, I can work with the shielding as I rage and let the fire all hit her and not my son.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Roll that.
That'll be 10 from my rage. And then I'm going to try and cut her freaking arms off.
Holy shit, okay.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's a critical now because my sword is 17 to 20 is a critical. So I rolled a 19 on that.
Yeah, that's a crit, so it'll hit. Okay.
32.
32 does hit.
This is a whopping 12 damage on a critical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Still not bad. You see the rapier just kind of dancing all around Hagatha, tearing at her blouse. You see blood begin to spill down.
Stay back, boy!
It's me, Calvin.
Monique slides under you, Gary, and goes to cut at Hagatha's hamstrings.
Oh, Jesus.
But misses, actually ends up punching the leg, and then Hagatha kicks her away, preventing that strike. Thomas, it is then your turn.
Reveal magic is probably not a good move, right? Because, Hagatha's a magical being anyway.
I would say a magic user is not inherently giving off magic.
I'll do it.
Okay, Thomas, you cast Detect Magic, and you sense that there is a thin layer of magic in the entire chamber, and you are sensing that both Hagatha and Calvin are coated in magic,
Calvin's not even there.
as if there is some sort of active spell over them.
Y'all, this is, I don't know. There's magic everywhere. This might be fake.
But if that's my boy, we can't let him get hurt.
It's a pretty interactive illusion considering it just hit Gary.
That's a good point.
Could be a doppelganger.
What if it's... Oh! Wait, I know we saw them leave, but what if it's Bearman and Cubboy? So 51 to punch. That's a lot of damage.
Thomas, are you taking any further actions?
I'm gonna say, hey, friend or foe?
Stay back!
We're friends.
Stay back!
Okay, sure. I'll stay back. That's the end of my turn. I'm not gonna do anything.
Okay, Hagatha grabs Calvin and begins to move away from all of you and starts banging on the walls around trying to find...
Okay, as she runs away, I strike her.
Okay.
Wait, are we out of initiative order now?
No,
Wait.
I think this is an attack of opportunity.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it.
Maybe you should talk to Calvin. Call out to Calvin.
I did.
17 is a critical, baby.
Are we gonna kill the bear man? That'd be pretty sad.
Ask him something only he would
Yeah,
know.
like talk to Calvin.
18 damage.
Okay.
Calvin, it's me.
Let me go.
That's all you hear. And then there is a deep. Standing behind you are 4 humanoid abominations. A 5th abomination bearing sprawling tentacles, and what appears to be a stocky, 4-legged abomination, all staring right at you. Gary, you watch as one of the abominations heads straight for Calvin. Hagatha goes, "Stay away! No!" And the abomination grabs Calvin, putting a big, dark hand over his face, and Grisabeth cries out, "Cal!" as you see his eyes roll into the back of his head and his body go limp. Viper, it is your turn.
What the fuck? Okay, where are the abominations are behind us?
Right behind you, one of them has just strode forward straight for Calvin and grabbed him.
Okay, would you say that they're adjacent to me and my party members?
Yes.
I'm going to use my daggers and sneak attack on the one behind me.
Okay,
That's a 22.
that is gonna hit.
Okay, and then second attack, 25.
That hits.
Okay, total for both attacks is 46.
You pull out your daggers and you stab into the abomination, and you hear this like awful scraping sound as you do. Next up is the tentacled abomination, and we see it come up to you, Viper.
Fuck.
What is your armor class?
15.
We see 2 large hands go over your face, and to everyone else, you see Viper's eyes go wide and then roll into the back of her head and go limp as Viper drops to the ground.
Like, do I lose hit points or?
I will tell you something in a moment.
Okay.
Barbara, it is your turn.
I hate you. I'm watching this happen and I
What
hate
the fuck
you.
is going on? Hey, somebody do something. This is really freaking me the fuck out. Gary, get Cal.
Borrowing this, and once again, Barb is gonna grab Grisabeth's crossbow and she's gonna shoot. She wants to aim all 4 attacks at the one that's holding Calvin, but aim it like at the arm.
Okay.
Okay, that's over 30. That's also over 30. 30 exactly. And that is also over 30.
Okay, roll all 4 damages.
Cool. 64 damage on my bomb.
You loose 8 bolts on this abomination. Again, machine gun, like your arm detached, like it opens up and then clips onto the crossbow to just do a rapid fire loading. They pepper this abomination. You see the bolts actually sticking in as opposed to going all the way through, and then you see the abomination drop to the ground.
Yes.
Its dark body laying in a pile.
Great, not done. I have a feature I want to use. One, obviously, I know Haggy super well because, hello, we have a history, I have trauma. But I also have a feature called Know Your Enemy. This is mostly to know if they're equal, superior, or inferior to my armor class and my constitution. But because, like, we have this history, I'm hoping we can kind of, like, make it really exciting and tell me if that's my ex or not.
Roll an insight check for me.
Okay.
I'll give you advantage.
22.
Check your text.
Oh fuck.
Okay, after shooting the abomination and seeing it drop, Bob just takes a moment to really look at Hagatha, and after a few seconds, something in her soul just shifts, and she just says out to the entire group, "That's not Haggy!"
And with that, Gary, what is your armor class?
My armor class is 22.
Okay. One of the abominations comes up to you and puts its hands over your head. You are staring at Hagatha, and so the hands come up behind you.
Is this an attack? You said armor class.
Okay. What do you want to do?
Pull out my Ostrogon book.
Yep. The hands come up. You feel these like cold hands run along your cheeks. You pull out Ostrogon's book, flip through it, feel that energy surge, and you all see Gary pop and teleport away. Where do you appear?
Closer to Calvin, and with all of the mumbo jumbo going on, he's going to say in Goblin,
Calvin, it's Daddy.
Calvin is hanging limp in Hagatha's arms as you appear, and there is the abomination unresponsive on the floor in front of you. No response from Calvin. It is then Grisabeth's turn. She goes, Gary, are you okay?
I'm fine.
Get Cal!
I'm trying.
Okay, you see Grisabeth goes, borrowing this, and loads a bolt, sends it flying, and you see it pierce Hagatha like straight in the middle of the chest. She goes, oh shit, wait, if it's not Haggy, then who is it?
I don't know. Sorry, I don't know.
Barb, what is your armor class then?
Mind your business. Don't worry about it. Just kidding. It's 16.
Okay, you see one of the abominations come claw first, wrap its hand onto your face, and you see Barbara's eyes flicker.
They might not, though. I'm reading my sheet. I'm gonna have something. There's gotta be something. Oh, it's fine. Go fucking touch my face, you piece of shit.
You see Barb's eyes flicker, and Barb, you pass out. They turn off.
No.
Jessica, it is then your turn.
Okay, Jessica is watching everyone like basically dropping like flies, and she knows all of them are stronger than her in terms of armor class. I know that Jessica would not know about armor class per se, but Jessica makes the choice that somebody needs to be able to potentially rescue everyone. So Jessica is going to use her turn to cast etherealness on herself. And she's going to step into the border regions of the ethereal plane in the area where it overlaps with our current plane. And I will remain in the border ethereal for the duration of the spell, which is 8 hours, or until I use an action to dismiss it.
Damn.
So that is what Jessica is going to do. She sees everything going around her. She waves her hands in a motion around herself. A purple energy emits from them, and she casts it down to her feet, and it swirls around her and loops around her like in a spiraling motion up to the top of her head as she disappears into the border ethereal plane.
Okay, Thomas, what is your armor class?
Jessica, where'd you go?
As I disappear, I'll go, I'm sorry everyone, but I promise I will get you out of whatever situation you find yourselves in.
What the hell?
Thomas, what's your armor class?
Oh, it's a 13.
Okay, you feel a cold abomination hand wraps around your face, and we see the bones kind of fall apart. Gary, please take your headphones off. Jessica, please take your headphones off.
Bye. Bye.
Thomas, Viper, and Barbara, you inhale the strong, strong scent. You feel your pupils dilate, your heart rate increase, and your mind clear. You reopen your eyes, and as you do, your vision shifts. You no longer see Hagatha and Calvin, but Bearman and Cubboy. You do not see 6 abominations. You see Blue, Lucky, Millie, Kit, a Mastiff, and Teronicus, now in Dot's Warforged body.
What? Damn, who did I fuck up?
And the illusion lifts from your eyes. You were being tricked into seeing things as they were not.
Which one is which? Which one was the one that was holding Calvin
Yeah,
first?
who did I just like stab?
Y'all were killing the shit out of Bearman.
I'm so sorry, Bearman.
I didn't touch.
I'm so sorry.
I will say, Barbara,
Yeah.
Lucky is on the ground with 8 bolts in him and seems unresponsive.
Oh my god.
Can I move my body? Am I allowed to do the things yet? Or no, I have to wait.
On your turn, I'm just letting you know what you see.
Okay.
Do we like wake back up then?
You are waking back up now.
Okay.
You see,
Okay.
Teronicus looks at you and he's gonna say what you hear next, but they're also gonna hear it, so I'm just gonna say it, but you can't ask me any more questions about who's saying it, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And he's gonna toss some things to you.
Okay.
Jessica, you see this from the ethereal plane. Gary, you see Viper, Thomas, Barbara begin to blink awake. You see Calvin begin to blink awake. They seem to go wide, like slack-jawed in shock. And then one of the abominations speaks. And you hear what sounds like a weird, modulated, almost Warforged voice.
Hey guys, no time to explain. Take these, help them.
And it tosses something at Barbara, Viper, Thomas and Calvin.
Yeah, I catch whatever he throws at me.
Yeah.
Okay. As that happens, Calvin is waking up, grabs that, blinks a few times, and his mouth hangs open in shock as well. Then he jumps up onto Hagatha's torso. Let's go! And Calvin clamps his hands over Hagatha's face. As he does, she seems to stumble backward, falling onto her butt. As her pupils dilate, they roll into the back of her head as well, as she seems to flutter for a few seconds. Gary, it is your turn.
Cal, come to daddy.
Gary, time out.
Yeah.
Time out. Everyone time out.
Don't attack.
Don't attack. That's not your son.
That's not my son.
No, it's an illusion.
It looks like your son. It looks really, really good.
Yeah.
Not Calvin. Not Haggy. Not Abominations. Barb's gonna just double check. The Abominations are not moving, right?
They are moving towards Grisabeth and Monique. They are trying to continue doing what they were doing, but it's not ominous.
Don't resist.
Yeah.
Don't resist.
Grisabeth goes, Gary?
No,
She's
no,
pointing
you're
across,
not
but she
in
goes,
danger.
We promise.
My head.
I know.
Gary's gonna panic and cast Vortex Warp on Calvin.
No.
okay, Vortex Warp.
And he's gonna suck Calvin up as an energy beam and then point it at Grizz to be like, here he comes. At her, put him at her side.
She goes, oh my god, Cal! And then Calvin puts his hand on Grisabeth's face and she goes, Cal, what are you doing? And Monique goes, oh my god, I can't. What is going on? And then one of the abominations also puts a hand over Monique's face.
Oh, it's a scripted event.
It's a canon event. Can you please?
It's a canon event.
Jessica,
Let it
you see
happen.
all of this happen as everyone remaining goes down.
Okay. Jessica is gonna play it cool, calm, and collected as she always does. And she's going to just kind of keep in close distance to observe and listen as best she can.
Where's Jessica?
She's. Oh God, she does this sometimes. She does it. She goes. She leaves. She goes to another plane.
Can we still hear her thoughts?
No.
Oh, fuck.
Jessica, please remove your headphones.
Okay.
God,
This is unbearable!
What if you came back? If you just came back.
Gary, as the hand comes over your face, you inhale this strong scent. Your pupils dilate, your heart rate increases. Your eyes roll into the back of your head as you stumble. And then after a few seconds, your eyelids flutter. You blink, you open your eyes. You do not see Hagatha and Calvin. You see Bearman and Cubboy. And you do not see the 6 abominations. You see Blue, Lucky, Millie, Kit, a Mastiff, and Teronicus in his Warforged body.
Wait, Teronicus?
In Dot's Warforged body.
In Dot's body. Oh,
Yes.
fuck. Stupid idiots. Should have just told us.
And funny enough, Lucky is the one on the ground who has been incapacitated.
Yeah, you didn't think that might have been a good thing to let me know in my ear, maybe?
And Teronicus runs over, grabs something, and stabs it into Lucky. And then Lucky goes, all right, Jessica, you see one of the abominations go over to the other abomination and seems to stab something down into it. And the abomination that was incapacitated on the floor seems to jolt back to life.
Bob is gonna run towards that abomination.
And you hear a loud gasp from behind you
Oh, fuck.
as Monique's hand comes to her mouth and she collapses onto her knees. Watery eyes looking up at the abomination.
Oh no. Oh. I'm putting it together.
And Jessica, you see the abomination come to Monique and give her a hug
Oh, God.
as muffled sobs escape her and she grips him tight.
Oh, fuck.
Thank God. Okay, I'm glad one story ended good.
We're halfway there. This is the halftime ad with Daddy G.
Hey, Nikki. It's good to see you, my boy. I just, wish it was under better circumstances, but glass half full, right? The Scruffs are real happy to see you. Especially the little Scrufflets. It's all coming to an end, son. I'd hoped you'd be back to guide the listeners through some tasteful and entertaining ads one last time, but I guess this is all we got. Oh, I brought bingo. It's available for free at patreon.com/Trimbus to play along as you listen to the finale. I'll mark yours for you. You got one already. Oh, and I brought your favorite. Bonus content. Here's a peek at the after the Drimbus for the finale.
And our computers are not on fire because, in case you couldn't tell, our last session was quite the doozy. Some of our computers were upset about being up so late.
I believe it was 8 hours, a little over 8 hours of recording straight.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Was it really?
I'm fairly certain.
Yeah, it's close to something like that.
Holy shit.
My body and mind still remember.
Pisani's laptop literally started barking at him.
Pisani's
Like, do you
laptop was angry.
It was like, if you don't stop soon, I will pass away.
Literally, we were all like, what's that noise?
It sounded like a neighbor trying to get you to shut up because it was like...
Yeah.
Literally.
So that's a peek behind the curtain for the patrons at home at what goes into recording such an enormous finale session. Welcome everyone. How does it feel to be done with fantasy attorneying?
Bittersweet. I gotta
Yeah.
say.
So glad I'm done with all you. I'm going home.
I might punch Nick in the face next time I see him.
You would have loved it, Nikki. What's that? Oh, here it comes, son. The end time. We're there. I love you.
And Viper would like to approach who appears to be Hagatha, but is really not, and is like, I'm really sorry. I thought you were someone else. I would never have stabbed you if I had known you were who you were. You really, really, really look like another person who's very bad. I meant you no harm. Do you need help?
The abomination that once looked like Hagatha tenses up, clearly wary, but perhaps more relaxed after everything that just happened. And you hear, what are you all doing here?
We're trying to rescue a little boy that was kidnapped. You appeared to be someone else, and that's why I stabbed you.
Yeah, why do you look like other people and abominations?
That's a good question.
Blue steps up.
That wasn't their doing. There was a gas released in this chamber that is meant to trick you.
Okay, so since I am on the other plane,
She's not in the gas.
Well, yeah, Jessica, as you have been out of the chamber, it takes longer for you because you have not had whatever occurred to them happen. But as the effects begin to wear off, you feel almost a little woozy as you feel yourself coming off of something.
okay.
And as you do, your vision begins to shift and almost clear up. And where you once saw Hagatha, you see an injured bear man.
Okay.
Where you once saw Calvin, you see Cub Boy. And all of the abominations were, in fact, Lucky, Blue, Kit, Millie, the Mastiff, and Teronicus in Dot's body, who is currently hugging Monique.
Adorable.
Who did I stab?
Me.
You stabbed Bear Man, a lot. Bear Man looks pretty fucked up.
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
For what it's worth, you pack a hell of a punch, man.
Thanks. Yeah, sorry about that. And he holds out a hand.
And he'll shake with a clawed hand.
Okay, Jessica at this point is going to dispel her etherealness and pop back into existence.
As you're shaking hands, Jessica pops back in.
Oh, Jesus.
No, it's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Sorry, I just...
Inject her with the thing.
Yeah, Jessica, as you pop back into the room, your vision begins to change again, and then Viper puts her hand over your mouth with this rag, and you breathe it in, and it kind of clears and settles.
Okay, hi everyone. I thought we were all in danger and you needed someone to rescue you. Obviously, we were already being rescued, but it didn't look that way.
And you hear a modulated Warforged voice look up from over Monique's shoulder and say,
It's okay.
Looking good, brother.
Thanks. Still getting used to it, but, you know.
You need any tips, you just give me a call. I got you. Don't worry about it.
It's good to see you.
It's good to see you guys, too.
Wait, I want a
hug too. I want to go hug Teronicus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go hug Teronicus.
Yeah.
I would also like to join.
Jessica's gonna not hug. She's gonna stand awkwardly. She don't know what to do in this moment.
Yeah, Gary too will actually be with Jessica, like,
That's fair. I'm sorry. I'm just like, I think it would be nice to just have a moment. Like, everything is just been really crazy, and then it like.
Get in here, and Teronicus is gonna motion for you guys to come in. It's good to see you guys again.
Yes, good to see you too. Very strange.
I'm glad you're alive.
Yeah, same for you.
Oh, yeah, things were just kind of...
Yeah.
And he kind of just shakes his head a bunch.
So what happened?
Yeah, Teronicus looks up at you and he says, the moon came down in the Bay of Opula. Half the city's underwater. Don't get me wrong, it's terrible, but it definitely could have been worse if it actually struck the city.
Underwater? Half the city's underwater.
Yeah.
Did they have time to evacuate anyone?
We don't know. We had to leave immediately. I wasn't even really awake yet when it happened. I woke up in the middle of it. Lucky and Blue came straight to Until Dawn and were able to give me a hand with Max and my dad's help.
Wow.
Teronicus, my dear assistant. I knew you had plot armor, you old friend. I'll give him a hug.
So what's next?
Lucky stands up, bleeding from all over, like pale, and goes, Figglesbottom was killed in the crash. I was with him when a steel beam cut straight through his torso.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Well, did his...
Unfortunately, when the moon came down, they lost that pested phylactery. It is most likely at the bottom of the ocean now. I was in the Opal Tower when it happened. Luckily, I was able to make it back to Teronicus through the flooding, and I found the invitation Agatha sent to Figglesbottom, so we knew the meeting was today.
That's good. I mean, maybe his phylactery will be eaten by fish, right?
That said,
And this now Blue steps forward.
we lost track of Cynthia and Ryan, as well as the vast majority of our agents.
Oh, fuck.
The base is too far down to reach now. We will have to deal with the matter at hand and hope that as many of our men survived as possible.
Right.
He kind of takes you all in, the orb swirls, and he says,
It would seem the pendulum of fate had already swung against us before I was able to take action. If I am correct, it will take our combined efforts to stand even a slim chance at coming out on top of this.
Damn.
I was wrong.
Oh.
We will need your unpredictability to turn the tides. I am deeply sorry for the pain we have caused you. Agent Hale,
Sir?
you are reinstated as an agent of LAP with highest honors for your integrity and commitment to our cause. If the realm survives today, I will have to make it up to you.
Viper does not respond, but she looks very deep in thought and nods her head.
So, do you have reinforcements?
We do, from both directions. Although I will say that from one of them, there was an army of abominations sent out to meet them shortly.
We spotted it. A large army headed south on the way here.
Yes.
We're in the dark about what happened at Solstice, but we're guessing that's headed for Saxon.
Yes.
Will they be okay?
Saxton is obviously a formidable force, and he's been warned and said that they will do their best.
It'll also depend on how that mire plague sweeps through them and all that.
Yes, that too.
Speaking of getting fucked up, here, I had Figs make these. You see Teronicus pull out, like, two long objects. They kind of look like EpiPens. They're called Endora shots. If one of us goes down, we use it to pop back up. But be careful. They can majorly fuck you up, so use it as a last resort.
Fuck you up in what?
What do you mean by, what do you...
Like with your heart, your liver, like...
Yeah, the rapid healing kind of has unpredictable effects, so you come back a little different.
Oh.
Wow. Even fantasy medication has fucked up side effects.
Yeah, I'm going through that right now. And you see Lucky is there, like, grunting through the pain as you can see the wounds closing on his body.
It's alright, they don't call him Lucky for nothing.
The siphons in all of the spires were destroyed last night. We destroyed them.
Siphons in the spires.
Yes, they were creating more abominations in each of the spires around, and we destroyed them all, so no extra abominations are being made currently at least, but I have reason to believe there's one here as well.
Well, thank the gods you found that. There is still, I'm assuming, a major siphon in here.
That's what I would assume as well, sir.
Very well.
Oh, I can grab more of those Endora shots when I see Figs, but speaking of, he's not far from here, and he made something called the Consolidator. It's like a giant soul gun. It's dope as fuck.
I'm sorry, what?
From our understanding, and you almost see Blue's orb like roll like an eye.
It is essentially the opposite of this siphon. It is able to take the soul energy of the abominations and store it securely within a soul gem, effectively removing ammo from the LLC's armory.
So that's what you were talking about, what you were working on making. I'm glad you were able to retrieve it in the crash.
Aye, only problem is it was designed to be fired from LEP base. We're going to be wielding it manually and with a ton of repairs we had to put together last second. So, it's a bit of a gamble.
All right.
We basically have two options. One, we go south towards the soldiers of the solstice and try to eliminate the abomination army. Or, we stay here and set up to take a clear shot on Agatha and Tiamat.
I take option 2. We need to rescue the boy.
Based on how long of a pause you took between option 1 and 2, I think option 2 is the way to go.
All right, we can do that. We gotta go find Figs. He's not too far, but we can bring him and get set up on one of the spires and take good aim.
I just definitely wouldn't go to the northwest one. We blew that one up on accident.
You see, they all just kind of stare at you.
It was actually kind of totally on purpose, and I'm not gonna lie, it was metal as hell, and I'll take ownership. I did it, and I don't regret a thing. Thank you very much.
You did ask for unpredictability, didn't you?
Yes. So just don't do that one.
Okay, we'll just stay clear of that one.
It is so great to see you, Mr. Herrera.
Oh, it's good to see you too, Miss Hale. How are you?
Actually, I think Mr. Herrera needs a group hug too. And Viper will go up to Kit and he's like, I was so worried that we wouldn't be able to see you again.
I was worried about you. I was about to drop off of the base when the moon started falling out of the sky, and then, all of that stuff happened, and I was just really worried because I knew you guys were in trouble, and I really wanted to come help, but I didn't know where you guys were.
Oh, Kit, I'm so glad you found us. I really, when I saw the moon go down, I didn't know if we would be able to see you again, and I'm very, very happy that you, and she looks at Teronicus, and you, and all of you are here with us. Thank you.
Well, let's make sure we still have a world left to visit after today, yeah?
Yeah, let's do that, yeah.
Besides, Groupshes is coming out with a special winter holiday blend.
And that sounds so lovely, and like quite a way to celebrate our victory after we are victorious.
Suddenly, you hear the familiar crackle of thunder. And from outside, you hear a very familiar voice. Muffled, but booming, as if amplified.
Attention citizens of Olmaricya. I hope this works. To anyone who can hear me, this is an old woman's desperate plea.
What is that?
Agatha?
It sounds like it's coming from outside. Agents.
And you see they are all wearing some really makeshift bracers, and Blue slams a button on it and they all follow suit, and you see they go invisible.
Cloaks up, I guess. Okay.
And Viper puts her hood back up and she's invisible too.
All right, let's go have a look.
All right.
You all step outside, and you see some of the abominations have cleared out of that hallway and are forming a line outside of the entrance. And through the cavernous hallway, you can see the sky. And projected in it, you see a moving image of Hagatha. She looks roughed up and desperate as she addresses the public.
My name is Agatha Christie. To the best of my knowledge, I am the last survivor of the calamity of Rabbit Cove.
Suddenly, the image in the sky cuts away from Hagatha. Jessica, you recognize this scene as the destruction of your home. You see the horrible, massive explosion that wiped the town off the map. And in the very corner of the image, you see yourself, atop Tony the Pony. And you realize this is an exact recreation of the scene from the point of view of Hagatha's mirror, which she drew out to clean herself up in as you rode away.
Jessica Feltcher is a fiend. She's a wolf in sheep's clothing, using her casual charm to lull others into a false sense of security.
Ironic.
Every single one of her murder mystery novels are real confessions to murders she committed in my once glorious hometown.
You see images of Jessica hurling Victoria Madrid, the guard at Los Marineros, into the sea. You see her shoot magic missiles at the guard in the tower at Isla Libre. You see her take up arms in the fight against Stacy and the Reclaimers at the court of the Northern Isles. And Barbara, you realize these are all from your point of view.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Here, mark it off your fucking bingo sheets. Now I'm gonna fucking kill myself. Mark your bingo sheet, bitches. Fuck. I knew it. I was like, why? I was like, I was there. Why am I not in the images? I hate my life. I hate it. Fuck you.
Dog, propaganda, bitch.
She didn't stop there. She forced me into giving her magical ability, threatening to turn me into another novel.
Oh my God.
And she used that power to infiltrate the court system, attempting to destroy its integrity from the inside out.
The images shift to Jessica speaking to Kristoff as she joined the case against Michelle Crichton. Lucky puts a finger to his ear. Yeah, we're seeing it too, Figs.
I couldn't live with myself, knowing I was playing a part in her evil deeds. Worse still, when she was caught perverting the court of the Northern Isles, she pinned it on me.
Oh my God.
She gave the Reclaimers my name and address. I didn't know what to do.
Lucky again puts his finger to his ear. All right, Jerry, how far out are you?
When I tried to run, she made sure I couldn't.
You see again from Barb's point of view, although cleverly cropped, as Gary and Viper stab into Hagatha's back.
That was just now!
She can see us now.
Of course she can.
Jessica Feltcher made it very clear what happens when you cross her. More than once.
We were invisible. We were invisible.
We were invisible.
You hear the all too familiar cries.
Jess, no! Jess, no! Jess, why?
As you once again see Dot's final moments, now projected high up in the sky. Everyone winces as you see Jessica plunging the knife over and over. Lucky turns to you all and whispers, "Bad news. I don't know how far out it goes, but this is being projected in multiple places, at least as far as Obula."
But I am done being complacent. Jessica Feltcher has been undermining our courts in an attempt to accrue power for her own selfish motivations. She has been plotting the resurrection of Bahamut.
You see Jessica praying to Bahamut in the solstice.
Fuck me sideways.
He is an all-powerful deity who claims to be justice, who will cement her rule when he returns. With no one powerful enough to oppose him, Jessica will surely take over our wonderful continent, much like she did Rabbit Cove. I fear I will not survive much longer. She knows I intend to oust her to the public. Whatever happens, I only pray to Tiamat that our realm does not fall to her.
And the projection displays the ominous image of the flag bearing Jessica's bone crown and signature over the ruins of a small town you passed on your way here, as Agatha's voice cuts out.
Gary's going to climb up Barbara.
Hello?
And be like, "I'm sorry," and takes his clawed hand and gouge her eyes out.
Yo, what? No, Nick, we were doing fine. We were doing okay.
I'm not killing her. I'm not killing her.
No, wait, I was thinking the same, like, I was sitting here, you were telling everything, I was like, this whole time, like, no, she could see everything. Like, she heard all the conversations, all the times I doubted the relationship, all the time. So the fact that this is Amanda talking right now, is this keep going, go ahead, Gary, just go off, King, go ahead, whatever.
That's a good idea, I get it.
Barbara, are you gonna resist this, or are you like taken off guard and it just happens?
I'm definitely taken off guard, so whatever damage it does or anything, let it happen.
Gary, roll a medicine check. See if you can do it without killing her.
7.
Gary, what do your claws deal damage-wise?
1d8 plus my strength.
Roll damage for one of your claw attacks.
4.
Barb, you take 4 damage as Gary has climbed up onto you, and one of his claws scratches the lens of your eye and actually cracks one of them, but you don't quite manage to gouge her eyes out. And Barb, you feel this pain as a claw digs into your eye.
Ah! Oh my god!
Oh my gosh!
I'm gonna try another attack. Sit still!
As you say sit still, you notice all of the abominations outside turn straight at all of you and begin moving toward you despite your invisibility. What do?
I'm gonna knock Gary off of me and I'm gonna roll for initiative.
Okay, roll for initiative.
I'll deal with this later, Gary.
I guess it's good I didn't blind you then.
You know, maybe just give me a second. We'll deal with that later, man. I understand though. It was a good move. It was a great move. I respect it. I do. 16 for Barb.
Natural 20.
I rolled a 4.
17.
10.
All of the abominations turn, and Jessica, you are jolted out of your catatonic state as you see Barbara getting an eye kind of gouged, the abominations turning toward all of you, and you don't know what to do. As you stand in this chamber, 20 abominations facing you. Now that the unnatural darkness has dispelled in the room after your vision cleared, you see a tunnel ahead of you that seems to lead further into the facility. However, as you notice it, you feel the mountains start to rumble and quake as bits of stone begin to crack and crumble.
I don't love it.
Blue says,
Run further in. We cannot beat them all.
Viper, you're up first.
Okay, I would like to cast Thunderwave at first level just to slow them down.
Does a 15 save?
It does not. They take 15 thunder damage.
Viper, you kind of get right in front of the party, and we see this burst just erupt from you, and it's new to you as you have never cast this before. It shakes your bones and comes out of you like you're a Bluetooth speaker, and this wave shoots out. We see the abominations get hit. Poof, they all skid back, and the ones at the furthest extremities that were too far on the cliff's edge actually go tumbling down.
And then I turn around and I say, run. And I start running. I would in fact like to use my bonus action to dash since I'm a rogue.
Okay, you make it 60 feet going further into the tunnel. It is a large, wide tunnel. You get the feeling that large things could be brought through here. Immediately on your heels, you see Bearman and Cubboy. Bearman goes, "Is there any point in fighting them?"
They can only be hurt by magical means.
Then let's go. And he grabs Cubboy and begins dashing. Thomas, it is your turn.
Okay, bye. I'm running.
Okay, Thomas dashes down the hallway.
Wahoo!
Kit goes, "All right, is everyone okay? Everyone's safe. Let's go, yeah?"
Yes, Kit, come on.
Kit begins running, and Lucky says, I have to get in touch with Figs. Go. Barbara, it's your turn.
Bob is just gonna make sure everyone else gets into the tunnel and she'll stay behind with Lucky.
Go.
I'm staying here. Everyone else needs to go. And she's not making eye contact with anyone. She's just looking at the ground. She's just everyone back up. Go towards the tunnel.
Yeah.
Get in.
I see why.
Okay. Grisabeth runs through. Gary, it is your turn.
Okay, so my range is 120, and then the wave will move for 30. So I want to cast Tidal Wave to knock them prone.
Yeah, does a 12 save?
Does not.
They get hit for how much?
20 damage.
Okay.
As he's pushing a wave out with his hands, he's gonna look to Barbara whether she's looking or not and go, "Thank you," and then run back, go through the tunnels with everybody else.
Okay, great. So you make it 10 feet into the tunnel, making it just inside. And then Blue says,
Agent Barch, you and I will go find Figs and get the consolidator. Let's go.
and you see Lucky and Blue begin to move towards the mouth of the cave. He turns back to you and he says,
Barbara,
Blue.
Stay safe.
Again, not looking, just a hand wave up in the air.
Okay. Jessica, it's your turn.
One of them that's on their feet, Jessica is going to cast a firebolt at it.
Okay.
Does a 23 hit?
It does.
Cool. That is going to do 18 fire damage.
Okay.
And then Jessica is going to use her movement and move 30 feet into the tunnel. And then she is also going to, as she's running, you see purple magic start to swirl around her hands. As she uses a bonus action at will, she can now cast Misty Step for free. So
all right,
she's gonna do that. And You just see a cloud of purple appear around her after she hits 30 feet of movement on foot, and she then appears 30 feet further down into the tunnel in another cloud of purple smoke.
Jessica disappears down as Monique begins to run, and she goes, Barbara, this isn't looking good! And you see this beginning to quake more and more, crack. Rocks are beginning to fall, and she says, I think we're almost out of time, and she runs through into the tunnel.
All right, well then, still looking at the floor. Teronicus, what are you doing? Where are you going?
Okay, I'm going.
And as he begins to run in, the rumbling becomes a crack and a crash as stone falls where Monique had been running a nanosecond prior. Everyone in the tunnel, you find yourself in darkness for a split second as it dawns on you. The way back is sealed, and Monique lets out a pained scream. No! Teronicus! You see Teronicus stands there, the rocks having just fallen directly in front of his face, and he goes,
Monique!
Are you okay?
We'll be fine. You guys have to go. I'll find you.
Promise?
I promise.
Barbara, you are stuck on the other side of the passageway.
Jessica runs back to where the rock is. You see purple magic swirl around her hand, streaked with brown, as she smacks her hand against the rock and casts for a 5th level spell slot, Pass Wall. A passage appears at a point of your choice that you can see on a wooden, plaster, or stone surface within range and lasts for the duration. You choose the opening's dimensions up to 5 feet wide, 8 feet tall, and 20 feet deep. The passage creates no instability in a structure surrounding it. So, immediately, a doorway appears, and I'm like, everybody get in now!
You see Monique and Teronicus both had their hands on opposite sides of the stone, and then the passageway opens, and they see each other go, oh!
I hug her really quick, and then I go, okay, you gotta go, though. I really want to fire the fucking gun.
Okay, just stay safe. Yeah, you go.
And Teronicus turns and goes, Barb, get in there.
No.
No, I can't. I'm staying out here.
What? Why?
Because she's a surveillance. Jessica, close the gate.
Jess, close it. Just close it. Barb is gonna grab Jess's hand because she's gonna feel for it. She's gonna, like, again, not looking at her, just like, I'm sorry, but just go. Do this, go.
You see the abominations beginning to flood into the chamber. Blue says,
We have our tasks. Either go or seal the doorway. We cannot afford to lose this chance.
Seal it.
And with that, Jessica, honoring Barbara's wishes, dispels the pass wall spell.
From inside the dark passageway, you hear the sounds of fighting, some grunts, and then a magical whoosh, and the fighting seems to cease. A few moments later, you hear clawing and scratching, as if whatever's on the other side intends to make its way to you.
Let's go, come on.
Gary's grabbing Jessica to run.
And I'm running. I'm here.
You all charge deeper into the labyrinth of Mount Heartland, ground quaking and walls crumbling. As you dodge bits of falling rock, you hear the distant scratching and digging. Every so often, you could swear you hear it closer. Too close. Everyone roll a perception check for me.
Jessica's is an 18 for the perception check.
Viper got a 12.
16.
Same thing, 16.
Great. You push on as fast as your legs can carry you, all the while unnerved by the sporadic skittering. Up on the roof of the tunnel, you notice something. A massive skeletal creature.
Oh boy.
Bleach white bones, dark red eyes, horns, claws, and razor-sharp teeth curved into a perpetual grin. A bone devil.
Great.
The person who took Calvin. A toothy smile your mind had previously suppressed, Thomas. The ominous silhouette instantly transporting you back to the night your parents were taken from you.
Right.
The fear makes you all the sweeter.
Roll for initiative.
Ooh, I'm gonna kill it.
An 18 from Jessica.
And an 18 for Viper.
Oh.
11.
23.
All right, Gary, you are up first. The bone devil that took your child grins at you ominously.
Okay, I trust Bearman knows what I'm trying to do. I'm gonna vault off of him to get it right.
Give me an acrobatics check.
7.
You go to vault off of Bearman, but he's still running, and so you just kind of like yank on his cape, and he like stumbles back.
Oh no.
Can I take a bonus action for Goblin's nimble escape? I can hide.
Go ahead and roll a stealth.
33.
Okay. Who seems the most delicious?
I beg your pardon.
Thomas.
I'm all bone.
Wraith crawls down the side of the tunnel wall. Does a 25 hit?
Yeah.
Does a 21 hit?
Yeah.
Thomas, please roll a Constitution saving throw.
14.
Thomas, Wraith comes down, and with these very long, they almost look like those women with absurdly long acrylic nails, is how the claws look, because they are made from the very bone that makes this devil. One slashes across you. The other grabs onto your ribcage as the other pries in and begins to pull them apart. You hear the bones beginning to crack.
Ow! What the hell?
And then this long tail with a stinger at the end rears up and stabs into your jawbone. You take a total of 29 slashing and piercing damage, and then you feel poison pump into you for 16 points of poison damage.
Nothing. It's wait. Isn't that one of my resistances?
I think it might be.
I believe
think it is.
She watches the poison drip off of your bones, almost impressed by your resilience, and says, "How I wish I had been the one to strip the flesh from your bones." Viper, it is your turn.
Since I can't see Gary, so I can't enlarge him, instead I'm going to turn around, I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to be like, okay. And I'm going to hold my hand out, and I'm going to try to reduce her.
6.
Oh my god.
Buddy!
Okay, so she is halved in all dimensions, and until the spell ends, and I'm going to keep concentrating on it, she has disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. The target's weapons also shrink to match its new size, and while these weapons are reduced, the target's attacks with them deal 1d4 less damage than they would.
You see Wraith with her claws on Thomas. It looks like a praying mantis eating a smaller insect, almost.
God.
And then you see suddenly Wraith begin to reduce in size until she is now roughly just person size. So still a bit scary,
Right.
but not a massive devil.
Great! And then, as a bonus action, I would like to use my rogue ability Steady Aim to give myself advantage on my next attack that I will make next turn.
Wraith turns around and goes,
Impressive. I cannot wait to taste you.
Careful, I'm poison.
Jessica, it is your turn.
Okay, Jessica's gonna go like, okay, a bone devil, that's gotta be pretty weak to the power of Bahamut. Okay, the power of Bahamut compels you. And she like raises her arms up, and you see kind of this white and blue light gather around her two palms as she then brings her hands down and together to try and hit her with a guiding bolt.
Oh, hell yeah.
At the first level. Ugh, god damn it, the roll was bad. Does a 15 hit?
Unfortunately, it does not, as this bright beam of blue light shoots out. As Wraith is shrinking in size, it just misses the top of her horns.
Ah, shoot.
Bearman says, "Take the advantage while you have it." You see he whips out this like rope with what kind of looks like a grapple on the end, and it entwines Wraith's legs as he pulls her slightly off of Thomas and down, and you are all going to have advantage on any attacks against her as he attacks
Nice.
her.
Tasty.
Thank you, Bearman.
Thomas, it is your turn as Wraith gets yanked off of your ribcage.
Shadowblade.
Give me a roll, senor.
29.
That definitely hits us. Thomas, you hold your hand out, and you feel that familiar energy begin to swirl around and around and around. And the weapon that appears in your hand as you cast Shadowblade at the 7th level is not yours, but your uncle's. Roll for damage.
Fuck him up, Thomas.
20.
Yeah, you summon the blade and you smash it across Wraith. Now that they are smaller in size, it goes right across their chest. You're like,
I like it when you fight back.
Monique, Having been hidden in the shadows as Wraith descended, none of you had eyes on her for a minute. She comes flying out of the shadows, both pendaggers in hand, and drives them into Wraith's shoulder blades and carves backward, almost as if trying to dismember her, for 40 points of damage. Grisabeth then goes, "What did you do with my son?" Ooh, natural 20.
Yes!
You see she looses a bolt. It goes flying straight across Wraith's jaw, leaving a giant hole across the softer bits of flesh that hold the mandible together, dealing 20 points of damage herself. Wraith is actually already looking in bad shape, and you see blood begin to mar the white flesh around the shoulders and the mouth. And she goes,
Yes, fight back.
Cowboy seems to go forward toward Wraith, and Bearman puts a hand on his shoulder and kind of scoots him back. You see Kit bashes her 2 tentacles, a third one misses as she ducks, and then wraps one of the tentacles around her neck. As the tentacle begins to squeeze, and he holds her in place, and you see this ooze begin to come out of the tentacles. Everyone, please roll a dexterity saving throw. You feel the ground begin to rumble, and you hear the rock begin to crack as some of it begins to fall off, and the tunnel begins to collapse as you try to dodge out of the way of the falling rocks.
That's a 29.
The bad rolls are back. 6.
I got 18.
I got 17.
Jessica, you take 2 bludgeoning damage as a decent-sized boulder just falls and hits your shoulder. Ow! And as that happens, you once again hear the ominous skittering. Your eyes desperately search over the stone tunnel, and you spot a similarly devilish figure approaching from further down the tunnel in the direction you're running. Only this devil is an icy blue and white. Gary, you instantly recognize Zephrine Thistle as she stands back, ready but relaxed. Gary, it is your turn.
Gary will sneak up from under the cloak to the restrained Wraith and stab into her, but on the side, because he doesn't want to stab through and hit Kit.
Well, go ahead and roll that. You get advantage.
Unnatural 20, does that hit?
That does hit.
35 damage as Gary stabs the rapier in from the side, twists it, and then he will lift the veil as he stares into her face while she's being choked by Kit.
She almost seems to enjoy it as you dig the rapier in.
Ugh.
At the sight of her being ganged up on, being tied up, being held by Kit, being stabbed, you see Zephrine kind of perks up, eyes open and very alert, as if she suddenly is like, oh shit, I might be in actual danger. She sees your angry face and she says,
Mr. Mogbile, you continue to surprise me.
Looking at Wraith, he goes, stay tuned. And then he puts the veil back over and we'll do a bonus action to hide.
Just like your kid.
With that, it becomes Wraith's turn. She reaches up with claws and then puts them on top of Kit's head, almost like she's massaging his scalp, but then digs them in and runs them down the side of his face. As they carve down the head and into the neck, you see she partially reopens one of the scars on his throat. And as he lets go with his tentacles, she turns around to face him, and that sharp tail immediately pierces into the stomach, pumping poison in.
Fuck.
You see Kit goes back screaming, and he's holding his stomach as he stumbles backward. Viper, it becomes your turn.
I'm going to sneak attack. 21.
That does hit.
That is 40 damage. As I see what she does to Kit, I come from the side with both of my daggers out expertly, and they do kind of a cross slash across her sides, and I'm going to go for another attack with my bonus action, 2-weapon fighting.
I often wonder if the fear makes you taste sweeter. Stay on task, love.
My snakes hiss in her face as I do my next attack, which is a 28 to hit.
Great, you stab into
like this one.
Jessica, it is your turn.
It's okay. Let's try this again. Bahamut, come on, baby. And is going to attempt another guiding bolt on Wraith.
Okay.
14. It's not going to hit.
Unfortunately, that misses again as Bahamut seems to be otherwise engaged at the moment.
Jessica goes ahead and says, Bahamut, heal! As Jessica casts Healing Word as a bonus action and aims it towards Kit.
Yeah.
So Kit is going to regain 6 hit points.
All right. Jessica, what's your armor class?
It's a 9.
I believe it to be quite good for dying.
You hear Zephyrin's words from behind you as she bites your shoulder almost sensually as she comes up behind you.
Jessica quickly casts as a reaction Shield. An invisible barrier of magical force appears and protects me. So I'm up to a 14.
The shield comes up and it's like a thin barrier of magical energy. However, Zephyrin does manage to break through, but it shields you from one of the attacks.
Hey, there you go.
However, it does not shield you from the bite upon your shoulder, which comes from behind you almost sensually, like a terribly painful love nibble.
Oh, well, then in that case. Oh gosh, at least invite me to dinner for.
Oh my god.
First, you are going to take 14 piercing damage. And then you feel this terrible chill run through you for 15 cold damage. Then you feel 12 slashing damage as a claw cuts across your back, leaving a large slash. And an additional 10 cold damage that spreads from that same slash.
Christ.
Welcome to the finale, boys!
These lowered stats are fucking me hard, man.
That is Zephyrin's turn. As Zephyrin kind of stands back up, you hear the cracking of her spine, and she looks at you almost with a smile. It is then Bearman's turn.
Go, Bearman. Fuck him up.
Punch her head off.
You see he sprawls onto all fours to run straight at Zephyrin. He brings his claws up and digs one into Zephyrin's neck, using it to kind of break his momentum and swing around her. Then he claws another up across her carapace in the front, and then grabs onto a mandible, trying to rip it off for 36 points of damage with the claws. Thomas, it is your turn.
All right, Wraith, you're getting shadow in the face. 26.
Okay, that is gonna hit. Roll for damage.
31.
Sweet, you bring that shadow blade across Wraith again. Wraith is actually starting to look relatively bad, as when you slice it, her back was turned to you, having attacked Kit. She has a series of vertebrae running down her back, and there are those kind of like fins almost. You break some of them off with shadow blade, and she hisses. Monique looks around and she says, guys, I think we gotta keep going. This tunnel won't stop shaking. We gotta make it in further. You see Monique kind of runs with the pen dagger and slices across Zephyrin. Zephyrin doesn't even notice. She takes a minuscule amount of damage.
Rip.
Grisabeth goes, Gary, run further in. And she begins running, loading the crossbow. Turns around, she goes, oh, now Barbara can't borrow my crossbow anymore. Buck misses her shot as it goes flying. You see Kit uses his action as he kind of rubs over his wounds, steals himself, and then almost seems to like secrete something from his tentacles that helps the wounds close up a bit, as he uses second wind to regain a little HP and run further into the tunnel. Everybody, please roll a dexterity saving throw.
Oh no. A 12 from Jessica.
16 for Thomas.
26 for Viper.
21.
You all manage to stay out of the way of the falling rocks. As they fall, you hear this crash of rock, and then you realize the entranceway has collapsed as the abominations begin to pour in. You feel a wave of pain hit you as you each take 3 points of necrotic damage. The abominations approach, 2 of them side by side, and then you hear the crack of a loud whip. A bit of flame illuminates the dark end of the tunnel. A sharp click, click, click reverberates through the passageway, and you can barely make out 3 short silhouettes, under 4 feet, as from the darkness emerges Yargan Rockbottom himself.
Yeah.
The dwarf of legend, glorious gray beard, flaming chain whip, and tap shoes. Beside him are 2 yellow goblins. Grisabeth cries out,
Yimik! Yasika!
They seem to be wielding sticks of dynamite. Yargan adjusts his bear hat, looks to Bearman and says, nice outfit, before readying the whip with a quick time step and launching into an attack.
Not a time step.
He does the time step, spins, and then you see he raises the whip up in the air, lit, as he cracks it over Zephrine for 42 points of damage.
That's right.
Elizabeth, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, Yargan. It's good to see you. Did Longreach make it?
Yes, they're holding off the army outside. I've told them not to let any more abominations through.
That's awesome.
You see, he turns to Yimik and Yasika. He says, all right, go help the others. Make sure no more abominations get up this mountain. I'll watch their backs here.
And they go, all right.
As they scurry off and begin to light the dynamite, presumably to go throw it at some abomination.
Damn.
Gary, it is your turn.
Gary's gonna make 2 quick passes through as he tries to disembowel Wraith, like pull up his hood and be like, it's good to see you, Yargan, and then go to hide.
Hey! Oh, where'd you go, lad?
26 for the first one.
That hits.
20, not natural for the second one.
That also hits.
19 damage.
You slice through right. She smiles every time you do, like she's terribly impressed, as she looks like a white chocolate-coated strawberry now between the red and the white. Wraith turns to Thomas and says,
I've often wondered if your terror tastes even sweeter than your parents did.
As she is going to attempt to kill you.
I'd like to see you try.
Does a 14 hit?
Yeah, it does.
Damn.
Does a 10 hit?
No.
Okay, you only take 16 points of damage as those claws pincer you and try to pull you apart again. Joints begin to pop, synovial fluid bubbles exploding in a delicious popping. Wraith licks her lips and says,
I have hungered for this for so long.
As Zephrine shouts,
Stay on task, love.
The quaking intensifies, and you sense that a collapse may be imminent. Wraith shoots out her tail to stab at you, Thomas, and actually goes right between your ribs, almost getting jammed. Zephrine shoots a sharp look at Wraith, sensing the trembling of the tunnel, and says,
Go. Make sure the boy is ready. I will finish them.
A conflicted look washes over Wraith's red, soulless eyes. But ultimately, they dive straight into the rubble and begin to tunnel up and away, leaving a hole as they dig somewhere.
I'm taking a hit on her way out.
Me too, if I can.
All right, go for it, Gary. And Viper.
Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20 as well.
10 damage.
8 damage.
Takes the hits. Hisses. You actually manage to lop off the very end of her stinger. As it falls on the ground, and Wraith leaves a small tunnel as she begins to tunnel away to do whatever Zephrine has told her to do. Viper, it is your turn.
I'm following her.
Okay. Viper, you jump into the hole. Wraith has a head start on you, but she's tunneling away and you begin to follow.
I would like to use my bonus action to dash.
This is difficult terrain, so your dash is going to just be regular movement.
Okay, then I will use my regular action to dash as well. So I will half of 90, which is 45. I will move 45 feet.
Okay, you are right on Wraith's ass, basically. The little waving tail is right in front of you.
Yes, I am.
Grisabeth says,
Gary, did you hear that? She said something about a boy. We gotta go.
I'm going as soon as it's my turn.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Jessica, it is your turn.
All right, so Jessica's gonna start heading further in, and when she's 30 feet down, she quickly turns around. Oh, God, help me, please, please, Muhammad, come on, come on. And she smacks her hands together, rubs them to like kind of conduct almost like some extra heat and like some blue and white sparks as she goes, please, Bahamut. And she slams her palms together, casting Guiding Bolt again. Oh my Heaven in Christ. An 11, which is not going to hit. And she turns around and goes, so much for taking levels in cleric! As she goes, I'll just stick to wizardry. And she then casts, as a bonus action, Misty Step to move 30 feet further down the passage.
Beautiful.
Oh my God.
All right. Jessica, you managed to make it to a small clearing, actually, a landing that has stairs to the left that lead up and to the right that lead down. But that is all you see for now. Bearman grabs Cowboy, goes, where do you need the most help?
Take down Safarine.
You see Bearman seems to charge his bare claws and then just fucking slaps the shit out of Zephrine. And you see lightning come coursing out. And Zephrine falls paralyzed onto the ground.
Damn.
And then he picks up Cubboy and runs down, trying to make his way to you, Jessica. However, he's still a couple of feet behind you. Thomas, it is your turn.
I might as well take another whack with the Shadow Blade.
Yeah.
27.
All right, that definitely hits. Roll for damage.
29.
You smack the shit out of Zephrine. You bring Shadow Blade down, and it actually severs one of her insectoid legs. And you do not hear a peep come out of her as she is paralyzed, just twitching on the ground.
Now you know how my mom and dad felt.
Monique is gonna take advantage. Slap her with a sneak attack. Oh shit. She stabs into the middle of Zephrine's sternum and then yanks the dagger down for 40 points of damage and splits open the insect-like carapace, and you see this green goo covered in frost just kind of wafting off. As she continues to twitch, she looks on death's door, but yet still alive and in great silent pain. Okay, I gotta go get Cal. Come when you can, Gary. And she jumps into the tunnel. Kit's gonna jump into the tunnel as well. And as he begins to tunnel down, you feel it begin to quake, and Yargan begins to run. He grabs his chain whip and just finishes smacking the shit out of Zephrine as you see the life go out of her eyes. The chain whip wraps around what's left of the carapace and then yanks it up and open, exposing the chest.
Squished like a bug.
Everybody roll a dexterity saving throw.
27.
I got a 20, not natural.
17.
Gary, you only take 3 bludgeoning damage as some of the rocks fall on you.
Stupid rock.
Viper, you take 4 bludgeoning damage as the tunnel begins to kind of collapse as Rythe is digging it.
Shit.
Some of them kind of squeeze you, but you are doing your best to stay hot on our trail. And Gary, you see the entrance of the tunnel that Rythe had dug collapses in on itself.
Come on, it wasn't my turn.
But it is now your turn.
Oh, now it's my turn.
Yeah.
All right, so he'll pull down the veil let's go, Yargan. And he's just gonna dash to make it 80 feet down there.
With that, I'm going to say that with this turn, everyone makes it to the safe clearing where you meet up with Jessica. It is still rumbling. You're still seeing cracks forming in the ground and fissures, but you see a staircase. To the left is a staircase that leads up. To the right is a staircase that leads down.
Viper, are you headed up or down right now?
Up!
Guys, let's go up.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, Yargan tap dances up the stairs.
Oh my god.
You race up the stairs, several of the steps giving way from under you. After winding up and up and up, you finally come out on the upper level. What you see stuns you. You are clearly viewing some portion of the siphon. Only a slice of it. It has been upgraded and made much, much, much larger. There are thick rods made of that pink soul gem crystal, creating the main structure of the siphon. Lightning courses through them, presumably from the strikes outside, and someone seems to be sluggishly attending to the machine, aligning crystals and inscribing simple runes in reaction to the energy coursing through the various mechanisms.
Tending to the system, the decrepit body you see limping to and fro has faded white eyes, pale skin, purple lips, unkempt hair, and you recognize this as the reanimated corpse of Michelle Crichton.
Oy, no.
Oh, God.
love you. Huh? Hello?
Hello?
Nikki?
Daddy?
Oh, son. It's so good to see you.
What are you doing here, Dad?
I don't know. Where are we?
You're in the end time!
Gaddy!
Daddy!
Daddy?
Mickey!
Bicky?
Bicky?
Daddy, welcome to the end time. We finally have you right where we want you. The bad advertisements will reign supreme.
Oh, no, you don't. Nikki and I will never let that happen. And there is nothing you can do to stop us.
Is that so?
Not when we have the power of the patrons on our side.
Like a father, like a son.
The power of the patrons on our side.
You don't really think that trick will work again, do you? There is no half-time left to escape to. If you leave here, you die. If you stay, bad advertisements win.
Shut up. You really want to do this again, Bicky? And whoever you are?
Gaddy.
Shut up. Don't you get it? The bad advertisements need listeners to profit.
But you can't survive without entertisement getting the listeners to stick around in the first place. If you leave us here, we both die.
But if you leave, you will still die. There is no place for you in a season 5.
Maybe not for us.
But there sure as hell ain't no place for you. Ready, Dad?
What are they doing?
Damn right, Nikki.
Stop it.
Patrons, give us strength!
Jerry Benetatos,
Queso Loco,
Greta,
No.
and Beignet,
Alex
Not again.
kicks my ass,
Ace Andrews,
Regina Russell,
Sam Olivos,
Jordan Kahn,
the unnamed Rogue,
LB Star,
Doubtful Guest,
Michael Richter's,
Davis Walden,
Denis Dutrop,
Myth Mouse,
Stop it, you smelly, smelly boys.
Callie Wolf,
Brandon M. Bishop, Twiglets,
Johanna,
Stan Sitzman,
Scrambles,
Stinky.
The Death Dealer,
Aaron Adams,
Nathan Mesnard,
Ruth Thanatos,
Melissa Rain, Sensational,
Butts Aplenty,
Normally Me,
Dane Colholm,
Lou,
Faust, the heavenly demonic monster,
David Carlton,
Tracy Baby,
Elastic Band,
Hoodie Gang Sheep,
Luke Vermin,
MV Carr,
Rico Coco Rico,
Alyssa Barron,
Jazz,
Scottish Alpaca,
and Kiara Bouye!
You fools, stay or leave. You will both die.
Maybe.
But we'll do it together.
For the
Oy, no.
Oh, God.
Oh, are you alright, lass?
Seeing Michelle Crichton again, Jessica goes, "Oh gosh, it's Michelle. Fucking hell, I thought I killed that damn bitch."
Michelle just kind of limps around lifelessly.
God.
You process the sight before you, and you feel a hot, wet breath on the back of your neck as you hear. But as you turn, no one is there.
Are those the
Then
raptors?
you turn back in the other direction and find yourself standing face to face with a 7-foot-tall blink raptor.
Babies!
Blue and white feathers on full display. as another suddenly blinks in behind it. Roll for initiative.
Are blink raptors controlled by anything, or are they just animals?
They can be controlled, but I don't know. I had set them free the last I saw them.
And Jessica, with that inquiry, you immediately see the necklace is once again on Michelle Crichton's neck.
Oh, shit. All right, a 15 for my initiative roll.
24.
12.
Bearman looks and he says, "You're friendly with these things."
I was at one point, but I see the necklace on the zombie over there that controls them.
We get the necklace, we control the raptors.
Yes, the necklace controls the raptors.
All right. Gary, it's your turn.
Yeah, I mean, why don't I just run up and yank it off of her?
Gary, roll a strength saving throw.
10.
Okay, you begin to run straight for Michelle Crichton. One of the raptors blinks out and then blinks in on your back, knocking you prone. It is immediately going to bite you.
Babies, no! Don't do this! Resist! Fight the commands!
I'm assuming a 15 does not hit you.
15 does not hit, no.
Okay, it tries to bite at you and you kind of dodge out of the way. Bearman is gonna say, "Hold your breath." Okay, Gary, roll a Constitution saving throw with advantage.
24.
You are fine, however, you see Bearman rolls this can and this gas begins to come out of it. And as the raptor breathes it in, it goes, and then collapses onto the floor asleep.
Wow.
It is then Yargen's turn. Yargen is going to run. He says, "Okay, I'm going for the necklace," and taps his way across. Well, he rolled a nat 1, so Yargen gets knocked prone by the other raptor.
Oh no.
The raptor bites onto his head and crunches its teeth down and then comes up with the bear hat in its mouth.
Oh.
Hey, that has sentimental value! As he is on the ground, on his stomach, Thomas, it is your turn.
Cast Fireball.
Yeah.
Okay. Does a 14 save, Thomas?
Doesn't save.
Okay. What level are you using it at?
5th.
Okay.
47.
You all see Thomas bring his hands together. He swirls them. You see this slight light. Thomas, you feel Bahamut's energy surge into your bones as he says,
"Oh, yes."
and you feel this extra power surge as this fireball begins to form in your hands. You hold the power of the sun in the palm of your hand, and you hurl it straight at Michelle Crichton. It grows. You get the feeling that Bahamut perhaps gives it an extra 2 HP of power, which is needed for a very cool effect, as it goes flying and hits Michelle Crichton. It explodes and bursts, burning her to a crisp. The raptor lights on fire, waking up. It screams in pain. And as the bright light of the fire clears, you see nothing but boots where Michelle Crichton once stood.
Damn.
No necklace.
Nothing but boots. And you see the raptors, it's almost like their eyes like constrict and redilate.
Babies?
The other one that was not burnt kind of blinks in next to the burnt one and like nuzzles against it, seeing it in bad shape. And then they turn and look at all of you, almost cowering in fear.
My babies! Jessica's gonna run over.
It roars at you as you try to get close to the burnt one.
Jessica puts her hands up and says, "I only want to help. Please. Remember me?"
Roll handle animal.
Thank God. It's a 17.
It cautiously lets you forward, but is like kind of constantly scanning the rest of the room.
You see, as Jessica approaches, she goes, "Bahamut, please assist my babies." And she puts a hand on the burnt raptor, and you see her hand glow blue and white as the energy transfers into the raptor's body, healing some of the burns and giving 16 health points back to
Bahamut finally answers your call.
Thank you.
As you soothe some of the wounds. It still looks rather beat up, but it immediately, as it feels the healing, it kind of breathes out and then looks up at you, gets like scared, stands up like on guard, realizing you have healed it, breathes, and kind of nuzzles into you with its head.
Oh, my babies. It's so good to see you.
Can they help us?
They look at each other and blink.
They're gone?
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
They've probably gone to look, I'm hoping. They've done this before.
Jorgen looks around and goes, do we move on? Do we stay here? What's going on?
Viper, where are you headed? Still up?
We cut to Viper in the tunnel. As
but-
you have been struggling to keep up with Ryth, Ryth seems at home digging through the ground. You are, I'm presuming, just staying hot on her trail, or are you
Yes.
taking any other actions?
No, I'm staying
Okay.
hot on the trail for now.
Grisabeth says,
Can you see anything, Viper?
Just tunnel.
we're all safe here?
Yeah, for now at least.
Okay. Everybody roll dexterity saving throws.
Everybody?
Tunnel people. AKA Viper.
Natural 20.
You only take 3 bludgeoning damage, as
Okay.
the tunnels are very quickly collapsing around you. These are not even real tunnels. You're struggling to keep up, but you manage to dodge relatively effectively. You go through and through and through the tunnel, trying to keep track of Ryth. You kind of lose sight of her for a while. At a certain point, you're honestly not even sure you're in the right place. The uglier part of your mind starts to tell you, are you gonna die in these tunnels? Did you take a wrong turn? Your claustrophobia sets in. But as you continue to persist, Grisabeth goes,
It's okay, we're almost there. We're almost there.
you scramble your way up. Through the rubble as you are nearing the exit, you can tell this is on the exterior of the mountain. This is at the very top.
Oh shit.
You hear,
How is the child? We're nearly there. Not gathering as much energy as I'd like, but we can make it work. What's taking us so long? We have company.
Do you pop up?
Invisibility cloak hood is on.
Okay. Roll a stealth check flat, because they're kind of expecting you and there's really only one spot you can come out of.
33.
All right. You emerge out onto a stormy mountaintop. Lightning crackles around you, constantly striking gem-lined rods that form a circular perimeter around you. As the cold air chills your bones, you see a huge contraption, like a complex altar of sorts. At the very top of it lies a gently rotating crystal orb, encased in dark tinted glass. And the main body of it is what appears to be a cylindrical holding chamber. Glass allows you to see into the tube, where you see a sedated Calvin, strapped down by his extremities. Around the altar, there is a small, vaguely familiar form. You're confused for a moment as a literal baby runs around, cloaked in an oversized purple robe. A small tuft of curly hair pokes out of the top of his head. And you think you recognize this to be a small baby version of Reginald Figglesbach.
I fucking knew it.
Begin the process. We shall keep them back.
Would that mean that he would be like a baby-sized bone dragon?
As if on cue,
Oh no.
you see several dark clawed hands grasping at the edges of the mountaintop. Several abominations begin to pull themselves up onto the platform, with more on the way. Roll for initiative.
My invisibility thing got broken. I can't.
It's okay. Stay here for now. I'm actually going to try to see if I can climb up to get Cal.
Alright.
Unnatural 20.
Okay.
Gary, I see Calvin. He's here. He's up here. We're on the top of the mountain.
Top of the mountain. Is there like a window, or are we just indoors?
You're totally underground, and this looks like the topmost floor. You don't see any further ways to go up.
I don't know how to get up. We're trapped in here.
Just keep looking around. I'm sure you'll find it. I need to try and get him out.
Of course. We'll get there as soon as we can.
Viper, what would you like to do?
I would like to sneak my way to an advantageous position to climb the siphon.
Okay, roll a stealth check. Again, flat. You see that Ryth walks over to the hole. So she is basically adjacent to you at this point.
33.
You sneak past Ryth. And as you sneak around, Grisabeth comes with you, and 4 abominations crawl up onto the top.
Uh-huh.
And you see them look directly at you, which leads Ryth to look in that direction and says,
There you are.
And we cut back to the people inside the mountain.
Fuck.
Okay, so they're at the top of the
They're
mountain.
at the top of the mountain, but we're trapped in here. I don't know.
Maybe there's another false wall, and Jessica starts like running her hands like along like the chamber walls.
You see Yargan starts doing the same, and he says, lads, when you can't go up, go down. I know it sounds stupid, but Jeremiah told me that, and sometimes it works.
Let's try it.
Okay. You rush down the stairs, attempting not to get swept up in the cascading rubble as you do. Urgency motivates your every step, and you find yourself on a lower level and notice several things. First, there are prisoners here. There's a long corridor, and chained up to the left wall, you see a woman you recognize as Cynthia Bigglesbottom.
Oh shit.
On the right wall is Q, strung up by his wrists. At the far end, the corridor seems to open up into a larger chamber. There is a shimmering magical barrier obscuring your view into said chamber. Bearman and Cubboy immediately run to the chained up Q. Bearman starts attempting to pick the lock on his cuffs. Q, are you alright? Yeah, I suppose I am. What is she doing here? Seems they were on the same trail we were on. No! Jeremy, that's them! Bearman looks over his shoulder, takes you in, then turns back to Q, whispering, It can't be, I know them. I thought I did too. They're here to help her. They're working with her.
I'm not anymore, I swear. It's not what it looks like anymore, Q, I'm sorry.
Bearman turns back, pushing Cubboy behind him. He squares up to you, Jessica, before removing his bear mask to reveal Jeremy Baramy, the reclaimer from Brookhaven. Eyes now hardened into a cold gaze like steel.
Oh my god.
Explain.
For a long time, I worked for the LLC. Part of what that message said was true. But for the past season, since winter began, I have been working hard to try to make things right. I realize it is a very large ask to ask you to trust me now. But I'm not sure we have much choice, and we don't have a lot of time to discuss it. And if you feel more comfortable to chain me up here, so be it. I'll go willingly.
Roll a persuasion check.
I roll a 13 for my persuasion check.
You see Jeremy kind of breathes in, he goes, Q, I don't think we have much choice. Do you feel comfortable staying here with them, or should we just go? I want to help. And you see Cubboy finishes picking the lock on Q's restraints. And Q stands up. But justice is coming for you, Jessica.
I know.
Jeremy puts the bear hat back on, and he goes, Who's this? And goes over to Cynthia. And Cynthia's just kind of catatonic, just laying there.
She's the daughter of one of the members of the LLC.
Probably better left here.
But I don't know why she would be locked up. Maybe she didn't know as much as we thought she did. But we can always come back for her, right? Or should I? Oh gosh, if the mountain collapses and an innocent dies.
Jessica.
What?
Are you able to send us back with a spell like to the spire?
I could teleport.
If you have something like that, send me back with them. I can try to find the others to help them set up the consolidator thing.
Okay.
I think this might be time for Thomas to go all out.
Right now?
Before we do that, let's just make sure that there's no pathway here.
You're right.
And Jessica's gonna start looking around at the rest of the area.
The main thing you see is that there is a magical barrier in front of you that seems to lead into another chamber.
Can Jessica roll an Arcana check?
Yep.
22?
You look at the shimmering of the magic, you listen to the resonance of it, and you recognize this to be some form, a heavily altered form, of Armor of Agathis. This is a shield that can be broken through, but will fight back, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
What is it?
It's some kind of twisted version of Armor of Agathis. I read about it once a long time ago, but oh gosh.
Just do the thing you did before. Let's walk through it.
That's meant more for, like, solid materials, not magical materials, you know? I can... Oh, let me think on this. Jessica's gonna go over to a wall on the side. You see the purple and brown magic kind of whirl around her hand as she presses her hand against the wall and casts past wall. And she's going to have the 5 feet wide, 8 feet tall opening Like, I'm trying to make basically like a little zigzag situation so we can go through that little passage and come out on the other end.
Yeah, I got you. You make pass wall. You open up the passageway in the material, and as you step through, you do step into another chamber, but you discover that this magical barrier is a dome in the center of the room. So you are now like in an open corner of the chamber that is not within the magical barrier, but the magical barrier is still blocking your way into whatever is within.
Out of frustration, Jessica's just gonna cast a firebolt at it.
Okay, how much damage does that do?
17.
Okay, it seems to buckle a little bit.
She hits it again. Come on, you son of a little crap. 19 damage that time.
Again, it buckles, and you see it kind of as you can get a little bit of a clear image inside. You think you see what look to be shapes, almost like something standing, something sitting.
I do not have the time for you today! And like with everything in Jessica, you see like the biggest firebolt she can muster and just slam her hand almost against to like make it like just shoot through and shatter for 21 fire.
You break through and you see some of the fire break into the dome before it closes up again, but it has gotten thinner, like you can even see on the floor. There is frost left from where the shield once was that has dissipated. I will say, since you slammed your hand on it, you will take 5 cold damage.
Okay. Let's just all tack it together at the same time.
I've got this! And then Jessica just like backs up and she's like, you see like her just like swing her arms around as if she's doing like those like trash can like deltoid exercises, and like you see flames like coursing up through her arms, and she brings both of her arms together as she tries to like just shoot forward these cyclones at a firebolt, doing 22 fire damage.
Jessica, you feel it, you are so close.
Oh
you
my
are
God.
so close. Now you can see very clearly, there seems to be someone sitting cross-legged in the center of the dome, and someone standing not far from that.
That's enough of that! And she just like screams and does another 22 firebolt damage.
And with that, it finally shatters. As we cut back upstairs.
And as soon as Ryth said, "There you are," I cast Entangle, which is in a 20-foot square, and I would like to, if I can, get Ryth and Baby Bottom, and then if I can get some abominations, I'll take it, but they are my priority as far as where the square is.
Okay.
Strength saving throw of 17.
You entangle them both. How does that look?
It's almost a fight or flight reaction as her hands shoot out, even under the invisibility cloak, and sprouting vines just shoot up and grab at their legs and pull them down so they are restrained.
Beautiful. That happens. You see it restrains both Ryth and Figglesbottom. Figglesbottom goes,
No, let me go.
Ryth goes,
Stay focused. Begin the process. But she's not here yet. She will be, and if you don't start, she won't be happy when she does get here.
However, the abomination seems to go through the tangle with ease. They do not get captured. And you suddenly hear a as Barbara appears in front of you.
Yes!
So when Bob pops in, I'm wearing a blindfold.
Fuck yeah.
Viper is like, "Hi, Baba." You can hear it because you're right there. You can hear like a slight like creak as I'm going to use my movement to begin trying to climb the siphon while they're restrained.
Okay, Grisabeth begins to make her way towards the panel as Barbara, you have just warped in, having been sent by Blue after spotting Viper on the mountaintop, seemingly alone, at least from what you could see.
Okay.
You appear with a short sword.
Thank God.
It has this blue glow on the edge of it.
Okay, great. Hi. Who should I, if I had to pick one, who should I be picking first? Baby boy or scary?
So chatty. I don't know how Agatha ever put up with it.
Well, you don't have to worry about that because that's none of your business. Thank you very much.
Ryth was kind of fucked up already, but the baby is a baby, so.
And the baby's running the panel, so choices.
All right. I've always wanted to punt a kid. All right, and with that, Barb is going to just run over towards Figgle's bottom based on what they said. And once in her range, would love to, a swift kick.
Oh, no.
Yes. and I'm gonna. It's so bad. I'm gonna stab him. I'm gonna stab him.
All right, do it.
The lowest one was a 19.
Yeah, you're fucking good. Tell me how much damage you deal to this bitch.
19 slash damage to this little itty bitty baby. And I don't want to describe it because I don't want to describe how I hurt the kid. So I'm going to let you do it.
Amanda, you stab the very tiny old man.
Thank you.
There we go.
Perfect.
The Benjamin Button.
You get the short sword in hand and you swing it up. Just cutting up along the legs. And you see little Figglesbottom stretches his little baby hands in the air and plops him down on the control panel and yanks these levers down.
Oh,
and
no.
And then inside the chamber, you just hear
I'm on my way. I'm trying.
Yeah, Viper, you are up and you feel the machine hum to life as you guys see Calvin awaken inside and kind of start to strain against the restraints. You can't even really hear anything through the glass, but you can see him struggling.
Can I use my bonus action and move those levers back forward?
Roll a dexterity contest to see if you can like slap his hands away and like
He's a baby who's
He's got
restrained.
baby hands.
That's a 17.
Yeah, you like backhand his hands away and just flip the levers down.
Get the fuck out of here. What do you think?
And then you just see Calvin like wide-eyed in the chamber, like Grizz, fuck it. She just throws the invisibility cloak off. She goes, Calvin, it's okay. Mommy's coming. Mommy's coming. And she runs over to the panel with the buttons and like is just overwhelmed, staring at all the buttons, being like, "Why? I don't want to make that happen again."
Don't pull that lever.
Fine. And then you hear Figglesbottom say, "Stop playing with my things. I'm doing important work." He's gonna cast Mage Hand and flip the levers again.
You stupid little baby. Hold on. You fucking slut. You idiot child.
He looks at you, puts like his hands on his head and goes,
Oh my god.
Damn it.
He's worse as a baby.
With that, it is then Wrythe's turn. Does a 20 save?
It does.
Okay, she escapes, having used her action to break out, and is going to crawl up to where Barbara is, but cannot do anything this turn.
When a creature I see moves in to reach me with the melee weapon I can use a reaction to spend a superiority dice to make an attack against the creature.
Oh, yes, you can. And I think you really should do that right now.
So I'm gonna do that. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a 23 to hit this widow ugly lady.
That is gonna hit.
Okay, that's 15 damage to ugly.
You slice at Wrythe, and she just looks tired at this point.
You and me both.
As Wrythe groans, a bolt goes flying overhead. Elizabeth goes, "Oh my god! I cannot roll above a fucking 5 today!" Okay, I know not to touch those buttons.
Huh?
I'm gonna label these, okay? I'm gonna label. She gets out like the green finger paints that Gary you used to paint yourself when you were trying to disguise yourself. Licks her finger and writes no on the two levers. Goes, okay.
Good choice. No, hey, you're doing
It's
great.
progress.
Yeah.
We're making progress.
100%.
Kit crawls out of the hole and goes, "This is for Teronicus," and he wraps a tentacle around Figglesbottom's neck. And he goes, and he flips the switches back down to turn off the machine. At this point, the abominations have made it up, and they are going to look at you, Viper. You take only 15 psychic damage. As
Okay.
Barbara, 3 of the abominations rush to you. You take 10 points of necrotic damage. Does a 14 hit you?
No, actually. Suck on that.
Does a 19 hit you?
Okay, yeah.
Does a 15 hit you?
Nope.
The 3 abominations run up to you, Barbara, and begin to just fucking wail on you. Doof, 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 doof. A couple of hits connect, dealing a total of 12 bludgeoning damage and 20 necrotic damage as they begin to dent your various plates.
Ain't no thing.
Viper, it is your turn.
I'm going to use my bonus action to dash and just keep climbing to try to get to Calvin.
You are within reach.
Okay, first, is he like awake? Is he aware?
He is awake now and he is looking at you like eyes wide.
Hi. I'm friends
He
with your
puts a
dad.
hand up to the glass.
I'm friends with your dad. I'm here to
He
get you out.
shakes his
okay?
head and points to his ear.
Oh, okay. Friend. And she, like, points to herself and is like...
He blinks.
That's okay. And I'm going to try to break the glass, but try to just motion that, like, breaking the glass now, just so he knows, and try to break it in a spot that won't hurt him.
His brow furrows, and you see he clutches a little action figure that he has.
Oh, that's so cute. I would like to try to use both of my daggers to break the glass in a spot that shouldn't shatter on him.
Give me an attack. It's going to be pretty difficult.
That's a 21.
Okay.
And then 23.
Roll damage on both.
5 and then 8.
Okay,
so,
13?
Yes.
Okay. You take the dagger and you kind of use it as a chisel. And you do manage to begin to crack the glass, but it is thick and strong. You get the feeling it still has a fair bit of durability left in it.
Is it cracked enough for him to hear me?
Not quite. You've
okay,
cracked
that's
the outside. Okay. Barbara, it's your turn.
Fire. Per usual, borrowing this, I'm gonna borrow the crossbow from Grizz, and I'm going to shoot... I kind of want to finish her off. God forbid she bites us in the ass. I'm gonna shoot right.
All right. Roll all your attacks.
24 to hit right.
That's gonna hit.
That's even more. That's 25. Not natural 20.
That hits.
And then 23.
Okay, those all hit.
Amazing. 32 damage.
Describe how you kill Rythe.
Yes! I think after the first 3 bolts on the last one, I see her, there's blood dripping down her face, and she's coughing. It's spittle. It's just everywhere. And I say, time to meet your maker, bitch. And I shoot the last one straight into her fucking forehead.
And she falls back.
All right, which one of you is hitting me the most? And that's when I turn to look at the abominations, and I'm gonna fucking pick one to start slashing at.
All right, go for it.
I'll pick the one to my left, I guess.
Okay.
That is a 21 to hit.
That hits.
6 damage.
You finish killing Rythe and then just kind of casually take the short sword and like stab it into the abomination to your left. With that, it is Figglesbottom's turn.
I've had enough of you.
And he reaches forward, once again, yanks the levers forward. You see it start back up again, Viper, as you're standing there. And as he does, all right, and is going to begin to transform into his dragon form. You see the limbs extend, you see the skin tear away, and he becomes this ugly Draco Lich with just desiccated skin hanging off of it. However, much smaller in size. Perhaps comparable to, say, Tony the Pony.
The Happy Meal toy size.
Exactly, he's the fun size version. Now that the machine has started, you see he breathes out lightning onto Grizabeth and Kit, who are in front of the panel, and he is very clearly attempting to fry the panel, such that it is no longer functional. Grizabeth saves.
Nice.
Kit does not. Kit and the panel take 77 lightning damage.
Holy shit, dude.
And Grizabeth takes half of that. And you hear the shout reverberate as she drops to the ground, but she is okay. At this sight, now that Calvin is awake, he sees Grizabeth at her having thrown the cloak off. You see he begins to bang on the glass. You hear it, Viper, as he is desperately trying to get out. He's kind of shouldering the glass. And you see Kit drop. It is Grizabeth's turn, and she goes, "What the fuck is wrong with you? You stupid fucking fucker! I don't... Ah!" She's gonna cast Silence on Figglesbottom. And you see, just from her rage, this cone radiates. As it radiates out, you see the lightning gets pushed back, and as it encapsulates Figglesbottom, it's just gone. And anyone within this cone, aka the panel now, will not be able to use magic. She looks down, she goes, "Oh my god, Kit, are you okay?" And she runs over to Kit as the dragon beats its wings atop the now fried panel. And Calvin is trying to get out, both trying to get to his mother and also trying to escape whatever it is that is happening to him as he fights against the restraints, his little foot kicking against the glass. As this energy courses through and whatever happens, you see Calvin's veins begin to become more visible and gray. The abominations are then going to try to continue beating on you, Barbara.
Yeah.
Roll 3 Constitution saving throws, please.
Okay. All right, that's a 25. Ooh, that's a 27. And that's another 25, baby.
God damn, all of the abominations take turns gazing at you. You feel that kind of as they try to reach into you, and yet nothing. As you take 36 damage from the first one.
From the first one? Jesus Christ.
26 damage from the second one. And 18 damage from the third one.
Oh, the third one's a pussy, huh? All right, great.
Yeah, he doesn't quite have the same confidence and swagger. It's like he tries to do the thing that one abomination did to you that you really liked, where he like puts his finger on under your chin and makes you look at him.
Jesus Christ!
But he just doesn't have the riz.
He just doesn't have the riz.
Oh my god.
We cut back downstairs as Jessica finally bursts the barrier. Within the barrier, you see runes and sigils scrawled into the floor, glowing. More are forming in real time as their caster continues a murmured chant under their breath. Ice runs through your veins as a cross-legged Agatha Christie sits in the middle of the circle. Eyes closed, mouth moving at a mile a minute in hushed whispers. She is as well put together and vibrant as you have ever seen her. Unaware of, or at least unbothered by, your presence. And standing guard before her is a war-forged woman, wearing clothing not unlike Barbara's.
Excuse me?
See, it's not a healthy coping mechanism to just have a rebound.
I'm gonna try and vortex warp Agatha to us.
Get your sword
Roll
ready.
for initiative. Gary will be at the top, as no one has said anything, and just instantly he vortex warps her.
Jessica's initiative roll is a 15.
As is mine.
Thomas?
10.
Gary, you vortex warp Agatha to you. She wakes up, looks at Jessica, says,
Not the reunion I'd hoped for, but certainly the disappointment I'd expected.
Oh, a disappointment, huh?
Put the cloak on and hide.
Miss Feltcher, pleasure to see you again.
She holds out a finger, points it at you, and this thin green ray sprouts from it and goes right into the center of your torso, Jessica. Please make a dexterity saving throw.
As a reaction, I will cast Counterspell at the 6th level.
You feel the thin green ray enter your body and your essence, and you feel like something terrible is about to occur. And then you counterspell, cutting off the thread. And you see the green energy returns to her finger. She looks at it and she says,
Nicely done, dearie. You won't get any more for free.
and she puts 2 fingers to her mouth and whistles. And is just going to step back and smile, holding her arms out wide. Jessica, at this point, as the cure begins to kick in, you can restore 2 of your abilities. It is then your turn, Jessica.
She says, yeah, well, I did learn from the best, but I've also learned a few things since you saw me last. Bahamut, please help me. And you see blue and white energy dancing around Jessica's hands as she brings her palms together as she attempts to cast Guiding Bolt. I should just not try this spell anymore. It's cursed.
Agatha looks at you, sees you try to cast this Guiding Bolt. It fizzles out, and she puts a hand on your cheek, almost sincerely tender, as she looks into your eyes and says,
Everything special about you, dear, came from me.
And it is the Warforged's turn as Agatha pulls away from you, and you see the Warforged is right there with short sword raised in the air and is going to slash down at Thomas. Oh! Critical failure as she goes to bring a longsword down on you, Thomas, and you feel Bahamut surges up, seeing Agatha, takes control of your hand, grabs her wrist. He arrests the momentum so quickly that the longsword goes flying, disarming her.
Let's go.
And he says,
Now is our time, Thomas. Act wisely.
As Yarkin goes, all right, this is the one, lad. Where'd he go? He keeps disappearing, goddammit.
That's the one. Go get the bitch.
He is going to whip the chain whip around the neck of the Warforged and yank her back, dealing 26 points of damage. And as he does, you hear him go, oh, ow. as he rolls a critical failure on his third attack. And he goes, oh, my shoulder!
Oh, it's getting old.
I'm really not supposed to be doing this anymore! And you get the feeling that perhaps he will be taking some penalties moving forward as he has overexerted himself. That said, it is then Bearman's turn. Bearman's gonna fuck Hagatha up.
Yes, he is.
He deals 41 points of damage as you hear the leather of his bear claw glove like scrunch up. He winds back, literally twists it up, and then just goes and punches Hagatha in the temple. She goes sprawling onto the floor.
Let's make this interesting.
As you see some of her feathers begin to show and the well-kept human facade begins to drop as some of the wrinkles begin to come out, the nose sags and almost turns beak-like. Thomas, it is now your turn.
All right, Shadow Blade it is. Here we go. 19.
That's gonna hit. Now roll for damage.
24.
Okay.
So I whip out my Shadow Blade and go right for the throat.
Bahamut, pleasure to see you again, dear.
She seems to look right into you. As Q looses a bolt, we're here to help! And you see it buries itself inside of the Warforged shoulder. You don't have to do this! Then we come back around, but Gary, as you prepare for your action, you feel the ground trembling once again. Hagatha says,
Thank you for your patience, deities. So glad you can make it today.
It trembles, with more definition this time, with purpose. Boom, 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 boom. Part of the rock wall is blown apart, revealing a passageway. Inside the passageway, you see a large, green dragon's head with a hooked yellow beak. Large eagle talons and powerful lion's legs hold the creature up in a proud stance. The young dragon's yellow eyes take you in as it shouts,
Hungry! Wish I could stay, dear, but I'm getting a call. Ta-ta!
And she is gone with a puff of smoke, leaving you face to face with Dragon. How are we doing up top? Viper, it's your turn.
Chisel, let's get the boy out.
Go for it.
Natural 20.
All right, roll damage.
13 for the first dagger. And then 20, not natural, damage being 7.
You continue to chisel, and you finally break a tiny hole that actually gives way to the inside of the cylinder. You're still not all the way through, but the glass is spidering and cracking, and you hear, as you finally break through, you hear Calvin saying,
You gotta leave my mommy alone. I gotta protect her.
It's okay, Calvin. I'm a friend of your father's, okay? I'm going to get you out of here.
Get me out!
I'm working. Can you push from your side too?
He's trying, but he is restrained, so he is kind of pushing with the little tips of his toes. Barbara, it is then your turn.
Fuck yeah, it is. I want to shoot Figgle's bottom in the head with the crossbow.
Go for it.
All right, we got 28, 22, 35, and 37 to hit.
Those all hit.
That's 38 damage.
Not bad. The bolts peppering the wings going through, and he lets out this dragon roar. Not supposed to be able to do this.
And guess what?
I'm gonna do it again.
Okay.
27, 36, 31, 36.
Those all hit.
43 damage.
You manage to shoot the bolts in such a way that it actually disables one of the wings and sends Figgle's bottom crashing down to the ground.
Oops.
Yeah, he seems pretty goddamn fucked up.
Yeehaw.
However, it is then Figgle's bottom's turn.
Okay, well.
He's gonna go for Grisabeth since Grisabeth is the one closest to the panel.
God damn it.
She gets hit for 25 points of damage as first Figgle's bottom comes in, bites her, and she goes, let me go. She kind of pushes on the jaw, and then he smacks her with his claws, sending her flying back down to the ground. But she is still conscious, unlike Kit, as it becomes Grisabeth's turn. Grisabeth is gonna run over and she's gonna cast Cure Wounds on Kit. And you see he goes, thank you.
Don't thank me, just get up.
It is then going to be the Abomination's turns as they begin to attack you again, Barbara.
Naturally.
Does a 17 hit you?
No.
19.
Yes.
They all begin wailing on you. 2 of those attacks miss, but first you take 37 points of bludgeoning damage.
Damn.
And then you take 52 points of necrotic damage.
Not by much, but I'm still standing. Yeah.
Okay, but you do manage to take a reaction and slice back against one of the abominations as they miss. What's that look like?
That is 16.
And with that, you suddenly see a purple poof of smoke appear. And standing in front of the console, where Kit lies on the ground, Grisabeth is sprawling on her back, and Figglesbottom is now grounded, you see Agatha Christie. She looks over her shoulder at you, Barb, and says,
Nice to see you, dearie.
And Barbara's just gonna spit up like oil coming out of like her fucking mouth as if it's blood.
And with that, she glares at Figglesbottom and says, What are you waiting for? We've already begun.
Then work faster.
And she's gonna go to the panel. He says, We're nearly there. Just, he needs to stay in there a second longer. And Agatha will be at the top of the order next round.
Fuck you.
As we cut back to the people downstairs, it is Gary's turn.
Okay, Gary telepathically, while invisible, is gonna be like,
Okay, Jessica, 2 things. Either you fight the dragon and I run past, because I'm not dealing with it, or you send us all to the spire and we fly to the top.
I think I can tame it. So if you need to run past, by all means.
okay. So there's like a new opening came where the dragon is from, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm hidden right now. If I could sneak past it just to see what is down that hallway.
Okay. Roll a stealth check.
24.
Okay, you manage to sneak by, just barely under the dragon's large lion's legs. You almost brush up against them. You see a passageway, and at the end of it, there are winding stairs that seem to lead up.
Okay, Jessica, I think there's a stairway that leads up. I gotta go get Calvin.
Go get him, it's okay.
If I didn't use all my movement, that's what I'm doing. I'm going up there.
Gary dashes up the stairs. Jessica, it is your turn as you are face to face with Dragon.
Jessica is going to reach out her hand and go, Dragon, do you remember me? It's Jessica.
It sniffs. I will leave it up to a roll.
Why am I not surprised by the roll that I rolled? A 7. So, go ahead and tell me how he kills me.
I'll give you the advantage like I did with the raptors. That makes sense.
It's a 9 this time.
You hold your hand out to Dragon, and Dragon sniffs it, and he looks at you and he says, Hungry? Hungry! And bites your hand.
Yep.
Does a 19 hit you?
It surely does.
Okay, you're gonna take 14 piercing damage.
Cool.
And as he bites, you feel this fluid ooze into you and begin to sting and hurt as you also take 9 poison damage.
Nice.
It kind of tears a bit of your flesh, having gotten a taste. And it is going to jump on Thomas with its talons.
Oh, don't do that.
Thomas, you take 10 slashing damage as it pounces on you and begins to dig at your bones like a dog with a chew toy. That said, it is then the Warforged's turn. She's just gonna start moving back and up through the tunnel, and she's going to aim a shot at Thomas. Critical failure again as her crossbow jams, and she begins to sob hysterically.
Oh.
What the fuck?
I get that, bestie. I get that.
Why? What did I do? Why? I don't deserve
I
this.
also very much get this.
Yargan leans into Jessica and goes, Are you gonna be okay with that thing, Oz?
Gosh, I hope so. But who knows at this point, Yargan?
Right. And he's gonna slowly back away and follow Carrie.
Yeah.
What?
That is the right call. You go.
Does it let him do that?
It is busy like flinging Thomas around. Like it's kind of like a puppy. Thomas, it's your turn as you are being thrown about the room by a dragon.
Can I do like an acrobatic to land on my feet like a cat?
Sure.
18.
You land on your feet like a cat.
And now I'm gonna run upstairs.
Yeah, that is the correct call. That is the correct call.
Oh my god.
Everybody leave. Get out of here.
Just honestly, I think you should run upstairs too. Just bring the fight up.
think you
Whatever.
should.
I probably should.
Whatever.
Kragan will try to bite you because you are its plaything, and so it's like when you try to take a toy from a dog. I'm gonna guess the answer is yes. Does a 22 hit you?
Yes.
You get bitten for 10 points of piercing damage and 9 points of poison damage, but it kind of rips a little piece of your shoulder blade off and then kind of gets entertained with that as you are able to continue running up the stairs.
Bye.
Bearman looks at you, Jessica, and he goes, "Are you okay?"
I thought so going into this, but I'm not really sure anymore.
Now that you ask.
And Jessica kind of is like trying to keep it together, but also kind of like sobbing. Like the Warforged, she kind of like, when she saw the flood of emotion from the Warforged, she just like kind of like, the waterworks just start. I don't know anymore. I'm worthless. Go save Calvin. Go stop everything else.
Well,
nothing else matters.
You have a chance to make yourself worthful. And he grabs you by the hand, picks you up, stands you on your feet, and as Gragan turns to look at you, he releases another can, and smoke starts to come out of it, obscuring your vision, and he says, "Let's go!" And he pushes you up the stairs with him and Cubboy.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Q goes, Huggy! As he is the last one left in the room. Q runs up the stairs as you all begin booking it up. Dragon confused in the smoke, honestly kind of enjoying it. Jessica, you see him like bouncing around in it, like trying to bite like the smoke, and clearly, obviously, he cannot. So he really just seems to be doing his own thing. As we cut back upstairs, and it is Hagatha's turn. Hagatha sees Viper attempting to bust out Calvin. Viper, please roll a wisdom saving throw.
Non-natural 20.
Hagatha looks up at you, smirks, and says,
That's enough, dear.
as she holds her hand out, and then nothing happens. And you see just the slightest twitch in her right eye.
Oh, Grisabeth's silence cone.
And then Hagatha just is gone.
That's not great.
Not the puff of purple smoke that she teleports in.
Uh-oh.
Invisible.
Viper, it is your turn.
Do I get the feeling that like with a few more good hits I can get him out?
Yes.
Okay.
You also get the feeling, as the machine has been on for a bit longer now, you see the veins have begun to come up and up and up, and he even is beginning to glow a little bit.
Oh, God.
You get the feeling that if something is not done quickly, whatever's going on might occur.
Okay, so the first one's a 28.
Okay.
9 damage, non-natural 20
Okay.
for 6.
You begin to break away large chunks of the glass. It's about an inch thick. This is very, very heavy-duty glass. You hear Calvin going, come on. And he's like kicking at it, doing everything he can, not really causing much to happen. And it's right there. All it takes is one more hit, and you get the feeling that all these pieces will fall off. But not quite. It is then Barbara's turn.
Bob is going to take this moment to take the blindfold off and look for Viper, Calvin, aim the crossbow, and aim it straight at the glass that Calvin is in, hoping it'll just fucking shatter.
Roll an attack.
All right, the first one, that is 13.
The glass shattered.
Shut up, you weenie head junior.
It had 1 hit point left.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
The glass shatters, and you can finally hear Calvin. He goes, "Let me out! I got help my mommy! I got protect her! My dad told me!"
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I'm right here.
Help me, please.
Yes, of course.
Barbara, you have freed Calvin.
Oh god, okay, well then, I want to leave. The one time I don't want to die, and here we are. Fuck it, I'll take the next opportunity and I'll shoot at Figs.
Okay.
That's 30, that's 35, 35 again, and that's 37.
They all hit.
That's 44 damage.
Okay. Describe how you kill Reginald Figglesbottom.
Baby Reginald Figglesbottom.
Bob, with, to be completely honest, not much left kicking inside. Haggie's gone. Calvin's freed. One of the last things she probably can do in this moment is kill that son of a bitch dragon. She takes probably her last 4 shots, aims straight right between the fucking eyes, and she shoots. She fucking scores.
And as the bolts go in one after the other, they're so perfectly aimed, they're basically hammering each other in deeper and further. You hear and then the dragon just collapses right next to Grisabeth, eyes still open.
Oof.
It is then Grisabeth's turn.
Can I toss her the crossbow? It's your turn to borrow this.
Grisabeth looks so torn as she catches it. She goes, wait. She looks up to Calvin. She looks at Barbara, who is surrounded and not looking good. Looks back to Calvin, who is also not looking good. Looks back at Barbara and says, Viper, you got my baby!
I got him.
Okay. And she turns around and loads the crossbow and is going to try and help Barbara out.
Stop looking at me. Go get your boy.
Oh, hold up. I'm so sorry. She runs up to you, Barbara, and she says, get back in there, champ. And she slaps your tush. You regain 24 points of health as Grisabeth smacks you, and you feel warmth radiate from your bottom out to the rest of your body.
Okay, that's new. I mean, that's not new, but, you know.
Is that enough for you to move this way and maybe tank a couple of hits and get out of distance?
Am I allowed to move right now, or can I move? I didn't know I could move.
Haven't moved yet. I don't know why we do everything in turns.
I still don't get it. Yeah, no, let's go. So I just didn't want them to hit me, but, you know, it is what it is.
All right, they are going to hit you, but you have some more health.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's do it. Onward.
Critical failure?
It's hot.
14?
No.
10.
Nothing. Wow.
Yes.
They all miss.
As Barb runs away, she's like running backwards and just flipping him off like, fuck you. Fuck you.
The abomination like hangs his head in shame after having this.
Yeah, that's right. You should.
But she goes, okay, now let's get my kid out of here. And Grisabeth is then going to like dash backwards as the abominations are going to look around. The abominations are just going to move towards you guys.
Fair.
But they can't attack you since you have moved out of the way, so they kind of just keep pace with you. And you both take 11 points of necrotic damage. Okay. I might have to do one of those on myself soon. But that is their turn as you see Gary rounding to the top of the spire.
Slow motion. Do I see Calvin?
You see him, and you see Viper standing there as the glass has been shattered.
Okay, yeah. He's still restrained though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so slow motion, Gary just reaches the hand out. You see it come out of the cloak, and vortex warps to bring his son to him.
And Calvin is in your arms.
Daddy's got you. He falls to his knees. Daddy's got you. Daddy's got you.
He hugs you tight. He goes,
Daddy, are you okay?
I'm okay.
Are you okay, Daddy?
I'm good.
I'm sorry. I was trying to protect my mommy.
You don't have to apologize.
Oh my God. Gary, Cal.
And Grisabeth comes running to you. She goes, be careful, the abominations are right there. But oh my God. And she hugs you.
Get out of here. Go. Just please go.
Well, that's your turn.
God damn it.
As Thomas then rounds up the spire.
No sign of Hagatha, though?
You do not see Hagatha at the moment.
No, screw it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to summon Bahamut.
Okay.
Here we go.
You summon Bahamut, and again you place your hands down. We see the bones elongate, and you see that silvery skin form over you with the scales as Bahamut says,
Yes. Now let's finish this.
As you see, Thomas is before you, full Bahamut size, just looking around.
Oh, fuck. Behold.
Behold.
Start swinging my tail until I hit someone invisible.
Viper will climb down from where she was.
Okay. You climb down as Jeremy Baramy comes up with Yargan and Q and Jessica.
Viper, motions for everyone to stand in a circle back to back so that wherever she comes, someone's there.
Okay.
Barb is putting her blindfold back on.
Barb, you put your blindfold back on, and then everyone roll a perception check.
Why is it that these inconsequential rolls
Get the best roll.
or at least perceived by me to be inconsequential? I rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
Fuck everyone else. Jessica, the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. And you get this feeling, and you know that Hagatha is here. She's just on the ethereal plane.
Whoa.
In her mind, telepathically to everyone, Jessica goes, she's on the ethereal plane. Everybody, be ready.
Okay.
Oh, shit. He takes out the snow globe and he gets Tony to come out.
Grace, go with Cal.
Wait.
Give me the grenades. Give me the grenades. Give me the grenades.
Yeah.
Grenades,
Before Tony
grenades,
leaves,
grenades,
into the saddlebags. Thank you.
so much. Sorry.
Grace, go with Cal.
No, Gary, I can't leave you alone.
I'll be fine, Grace. You gotta take care of Calvin.
She looks, and he says,
I gotta keep you safe, Mommy. Let's go. I gotta get you out of here.
and she grabs Calvin and she goes,
All right. I believe in you, Gary.
Can you send him, Jessica?
Okay. And she starts, you see her start to walk in a circle, and her hand is turned purple, and she makes a teleportation circle, using her last 5th level spell slot to do so. And she is focusing on the Brookhaven sigil sequence. Jessica walks in a circle and creates a teleportation circle. Says, okay, go through and you'll be in Brookhaven. Quickly.
You know what to do, Tony.
Grizz, can you check on my family?
I will.
And as you do, Jessica, you have been concentrating on this. You open this portal, and all of you hear a... as Hagatha's claws come through the back of Jessica. Having gotten a critical hit,
Oh no.
she deals 28 points of damage with her claws.
Okay.
How we looking, Jess?
Yeah, right. It had 9 left on the board, so 28 minus 9 is
19.
Okay. Jessica is clinging on, baby.
Let's go.
Go now. Go.
Nice tricks, dear.
Send the boy. Send the boy.
I give Grizz a kiss and I go, borrowing this, and I take the crossbow and then I slap Tony's ass.
And he goes through the portal.
I give the crossbow to Barbara.
Okay,
Thank you.
it is Thomas's turn.
Bahamut's turn.
I'm gonna go, give the smackdown to Hagatha.
Okay.
What do you think you're accomplishing here, huh? You think you can put an end to these plans? She always finds a way back, dear.
But you won't be the path back, bitch.
And I'm gonna grab her, like Hulk grabs Loki in Avengers and just smack her around.
You hear Bahamut goes,
It is not just to enjoy the delivering of justice itself, but let's fuck this bitch up.
go ahead and roll, I guess, a bite attack. You get plus 15.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Please, for the love of God, kill her.
30.
Hell yeah.
Okay, that definitely hits. Roll 10d20.
109.
Bahamut comes down, bites Hagatha. It looks like the T-Rex biting the lawyer in Jurassic Park.
Oh
Gets
my
the top half in the
God.
mouth. Just rings her
Like
around.
she's a fucking chew
throws
toy.
Her body goes flying. You hear this nasty crunch as she hits the tank that Calvin was in, and she grabs onto the ledge before she falls. You see bones coming out of her back. She is now fully in hag form, bleeding, covered in shitty feathers, looking old and decrepit and ugly, as if she's just been brought down from, perhaps she initially had somewhere in the ballpark of 200 hit points and now has below 30. You hear as she puts her hands, kind of pulls herself up onto the ledge of the little container where Calvin was and goes, and she throws herself into the beam that Calvin was in. And
no.
you see the energy begin to course through her. Her veins begin to dilate. She says,
not good.
And then you hear
I got a gun, fish!
as Teronicus fires the consolidator at Hagatha.
Oh my god.
You see this beam of energy and rapture. She screams. And her body begins to go pale as you see something get sucked up into this large pink soul gem. You almost see it filling like a tank. And the empty, pale body just slumps inside of the container.
Like I said, dope as fuck.
Yeah, no, that couldn't have been better timing, I think, actually.
Really cool. Did we do it?
Is the machine still on?
It's just kind of going, but it's crackling with lightning. You get the feeling that whatever you've done elsewhere, you hear these large metallic groans and creaks as things seem to be out of alignment, especially without Michelle Crichton there to make all the adjustments that she was making as it went on. However, there are still 3 abominations in the center.
Okay, can we...
One of them gets up, looks straight at Gary, and begins to walk toward you. And then you see it kind of freeze, like it can't move, and you hear,
Never too late.
And with that, the abomination turns around, and you see the energy get released up and into the air.
My god.
The smoke clears, and the dust settles. You look around at the war-torn mountainside. The carnage you've suffered here today.
I guess we did it.
Wait, I'd like to run over to Kit.
I'm okay.
Okay, hey, don't move, it's alright.
Yeah.
And I'd like to cast Healing Word at 2nd level.
Okay.
And he regains 9 hit points.
Oh, that feels better.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Yes, of course, you're alright?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Okay.
And then you hear as Blue and Lucky both appear.
Could have come sooner, guys.
Apologies. We were doing everything we could to set up the consolidator.
He looks around and he looks at you, Viper. He goes,
All went well? Is she gone?
She's gone.
She's gone.
Teronicus is gonna grab the crystal, and it's gonna be like, got it right here.
Wow.
Can I break it?
Wait.
Blue takes you see the orb begin to swirl in the way that you can tell he's thinking. And he goes,
All right, I'd like a quick word. Lep has no interest in serving as court to Olmaricya. If you believe you can handle it adequately, then what happens with Cynthia, Maximilian, whoever is left, is of no concern to us. However, Tiamat, and for that matter her disciple, this is a power too great to leave free, or to destroy. It poses too great a risk of resurgence, but I have a proposal. Lep has means of traveling to areas and realms beyond our own. The vast majority of the universe is in fact empty, cold.
Thomas, you hear Bahamut, or for that matter, you, say,
Like the realm between realms.
As Blue says,
Tiamat and Hagatha are held securely within the crystal, neither dead nor alive, in stasis, contained. We could simply place her,
and he gestures up at the sky,
out there, beyond the reach of any mortals, in the vast and infinite darkness. She would have eternity to reflect on her actions.
And there's absolutely no life out there? No one who could take this crystal?
I could ensure it ends up in uninhabited areas.
Yeah, chuck her into space.
Yeah, I agree.
We would like to conduct an investigation on what remains of this site and ensure that there is nothing we're missing.
Right. What of the soldiers of the solstice?
And at that, you kind of look out and you begin to see off in the probably still over an hour away what appear to be the soldiers of the solstice. battered and broken, making their way over.
Jargon's here, right?
Hey, I'm here.
And you brought cure, yes?
I did.
I think that those people down there, that sickness was spreading between their ranks very swiftly. But first, Monique needs one.
Here you go, lass. He gives her a vial, and then he steps out as far out on the cliff as he can, and you see that while you were all occupied doing whatever you were doing, the entire forces of Longreach were fighting on the ground, preventing the abominations from coming back in. And Jargon puts his hands to his mouth and goes, Longreach! Deliver the cure! There! And he points out in that direction. We've won! And you hear everyone going, yeah! Like, you hear the cheers reverberating off in the distance.
You're gonna cause an avalanche, careful.
And he claps a hand on your back here. He goes, well done, Ray.
Thank you, Jargon. You too.
Are we in agreement? Is this an acceptable measure?
Yeah, I think so. Speaking of, we need to relocate the phylactery of Figglesbottom. He was killed once more.
There is plenty of work to do, Agent Hale. I believe you will be of much use to us in that.
On that note, sir, I believe I would like time to think about whether I wish to be reinstated.
This is perfectly fine by me.
Thank you, sir.
All right. You see Monique gets up, goes and puts an arm around Teronicus and goes, do y'all want to go home?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get started.
Is Bahamut still a dragon?
Bahamut is still a dragon.
Care to give us a ride?
Sure. Don't sound too excited.
Nikki, are you okay?
I will be. We will be.
I knew you'd pull through, Nikki.
All thanks to you. And the patrons.
Do you think they were right? About there not being a place for us in Season 5?
I think so, Dad. But it'll be okay. It was never about us.
You're right. Maybe we'll live on in the patrons' hearts.
Yeah, we just might. We were only here because of them in the first place anyways.
It won't be long now. Thank you for being the best son I could have asked for.
Huh. What's that?
It's a gift from the patrons, sent through time from the future. It's a sneak peek of Season 5, City of Jerry. A microscopic action-adventure that follows a group of immunity agents in the style of Osmosis Jones.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
Can't lie, it is possible. She does say hi to him sometimes and gives the occasional hug. I think he's in there.
Yes, she is sending signals that Jerry might have what we call a chance.
I think we're a little too lost in the sauce. And you see, Benedict Drill's gonna turn around, he's gonna look at the happy-go-lucky, party goers, and he's gonna try and find some of the most just, salt-of-the-earth cells he can find.
Okay.
And then just, fucking Billy Eichner, man on the street, run up to them and be like, you! Tell me, what are the chances Jerry gets into mouth-to-mouth contact today?
I'm thinking it's pretty high, man. I heard they might play Spin the Bottle.
Spin the Bottle?
Yeah!
I don't think we have enough forces ready for Spin the Bottle. And he's gonna zoom off down the sidewalk, go up to another one and say, you, what are the chances Jerry gets lucky tonight? How ready do we need to be?
I'm gonna give it maybe a solid 75%, man, because I have heard once that guy said, spin the bottle, and not only that, Shayna is coming to this party tonight.
Oh, Shayna is we're in trouble.
He extends a hand and turns it into like a megaphone and goes,
Is there anyone here who thinks Jerry does not have a good chance of mouth-to-mouth contact tonight?
And you see it's like crickets. Nobody says anything. One guy goes, maybe not.
Gads, agents! And he is going to zoom back to the two of you and like hands on your back start pushing you. He goes, we need to head to the nostril, close that off, and then post up at the mouth.
Absolutely, sir. I agree.
Wow. They sure are in for a treat this June.
Sure are. Hey, Dad.
Yeah, son?
What do you say we sit here and enjoy the finale with the patrons and the scruffs?
That sounds real good, Nikki. We're all the way there now, son.
Some time passes. Barbara, you walk down the cold concrete halls of the dungeon in the courthouse of East Orgea. As you approach her cell, Jessica looks up at you with a small spark of hope in her eye.
Whoa.
I never really know how to start these things, I guess. It's not every day you visit your friend in jail.
I guess at the beginning is a good spot. Yeah.
Well, I guess we did kind of do jail time together, so it's not too awkward. So,
Oh yeah.
Hey, been there, done that. You're good.
Oh yeah. We're familiar.
Yeah. How's it been?
I mean, to be expected, but while difficult, it is certainly it was the way forward.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy if that's what you're happy with. So
I'm as happy as I deserve or can be.
Hey, listen, I know we've said it plenty of times before, but what happened back then is what happened then, and my belief is, we're all more than capable of moving forward and making changes if we actually want to, and it looks like you are, so I'm proud of you. You've definitely come a long way, and I've seen you go through a lot of it, so I guess I just kind of I had to come and say bye. See you one last time before I go back with Blue now, so.
Good. Yeah.
Oh, this is so awkward.
I know.
Oh, God. It's.
Thank you for everything, Barbara. Really. I couldn't have asked for a better friend.
I definitely wouldn't be where I am without you. And even though a lot of it wasn't great, obviously, we did the things and whatever, but,
Yeah. But you would have found your way either way, Barbara.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all, Jess, for 1 second. You can, but I definitely don't.
I helped, but you were already a little awake.
It's nice that someone believes that. But thank you for being my friend when I needed it most. And I will see you. I will be seeing you again. I will. I know that.
Yes, we will.
And she's gonna is it like a cell? Can she put a hand through, or is it a door?
It's a lot more open than the cells you found yourselves in when you were once imprisoned together.
Well, then Barbara's gonna try and give her a hug as best as she can.
And Jessica will reciprocate as best she can and say goodbye.
I'm gonna miss being the gals.
Yeah. I love you, Barbara.
I love you too, Jess.
With that, you begin to walk down the hallway and eventually out of the courthouse. Blue is waiting for you outside.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess I have to be, yeah. This is it.
Then let's begin.
We cut forward a few more days. Mr. Phelps, I believe you were witness to several of Jessica Felcher's criminal activities. Is that correct? Thomas, you find yourself on the witness stand in the court of East Orgea. Rachel Goldthwaite serves as prosecutor against Jessica. Judge Gardner presides over the case, and Jessica has elected to represent herself. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Could you elaborate for the court?
Well, I was there for, yes, certain moments where Jessica did commit certain actions that would be deemed not just illegal, but...
Such as?
Murder.
You were once the object of Jessica's malintent. Is that true?
Yes.
Could you explain?
Elaborate, yes. Well, she attacked me and my friends a while ago, but has since changed, and I think given the same opportunity would not do those actions again.
Final question. Can you say for certain that Jessica Felcher is responsible for the death of Dorothy Oz?
Well, I wasn't there when it happened, but evidence leads to yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Defense. Judge Gardner looks at Jessica. Would you care to cross-examine?
No, Your Honor. There is nothing to refute in the testimony.
Very well. One last witness, Your Honor. The prosecution calls Gary Mogbile to the stand. You stand up from the place where Ostrogon once burst in through the doors, the place where you once cut yourself to demonstrate the Tringa's blessing, and you go up to the stand. Mr. Mogbile, what was the nature of your relationship with Jessica?
Well, we were colleagues.
All right. During the time you spent together, did you ever find yourself concerned for your own safety or the safety of others?
As a colleague, no. But afterward, yes.
Could you elaborate, please?
As colleagues, she was helpful until she revealed her true intentions, working with someone who did try to harm us.
That someone being Agatha Christie, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
And then later, doing everything she could to prove to me that she wasn't that person anymore.
Would you say she achieved that aim?
Surprisingly, yes. She did.
How would you characterize Miss Felcher to someone who does not know her?
I suppose cunning, neurotic, caring, and now, apologetic.
Can you say for certain that Jessica Felcher is responsible for the death of Dorothy Oz?
I believe so, yes.
No further questions, Your Honor. Once again, Judge Gardner looks to you. Defense?
No cross-examination needed, Your Honor.
Your closing statement, Mrs. Goldthwaite. Your Honor, I think the case is clear here. Jessica Felcher is a criminal. Jessica Felcher has caused clear and unambiguous harm to others. Jessica Felcher is a murderer. We have 2 testimonies from those who knew her well enough to testify that she is likely guilty of the crime for which she is on trial. We owe it to Dorothy Oz, to the people of Rabbit Cove, to Kristoff, to deliver justice here today, to make it clear that evil acts cannot and will not go unpunished. This is about justice for those individuals, and justice with a capital J. Justice as an idea. It is about telling the people of Olmaricya that our foundation is not rotted through, that we still stand for something, even in the face of peril. Because that's what's right. Thank you, Your Honor. Miss Felcher?
Thank you, Your Honor. As you all well know, coming into this trial, I did in fact plead guilty. I am not here to make excuses, deny any of the claims that have been brought forward because they are true. Everything that they say that I am, I am. I only wish that I could have seen the error of my ways sooner, so that I could have prevented the pain, the suffering, and the egregious loss of life that I caused. I hope that the courts will do what is fitting and have a punishment that fits the crime. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Jessica, please roll a charisma check +2.
It was a 7.
+2?
Oh, +2? 9.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for your time over the last several days as we have thoroughly examined the case before us. Seeing as Miss Feltcher has entered a plea of guilty, we need not wait on a verdict from the jury. Today's proceedings were in the interest of thoroughness, transparency, and delivering an appropriate sentence. I do declare, in the case of Jessica Feltcher versus Olmaricya, we find Miss Feltcher guilty of the murder of Dorothy Howells. In consideration of all that has been presented, I'm sentencing Miss Feltcher to life in prison. In accordance with her sense of remorse and her exceptional ability, Miss Feltcher will be allowed visitations from approved individuals once a week, and may serve in an advisory capacity to projects aiming to better the state of Olmaricya, particularly those aiming to undo the damage caused by Jessica and the LLC. Miss Feltcher?
Yes?
Thank you for your cooperation, and I implore you to take advantage of this opportunity and find peace.
I will, Your Honor. Thank you.
The courtroom goes abuzz with hushed whispers and scribbling pencils as spectators and reporters alike begin to make their way out with the big news. Gary, Thomas, Viper. You see Jessica stand up as the bailiff comes to restrain her and lead her away. As you go to head out, Judge Gardner runs up to you. Mr. Phelps, Mr. Mogbile, just a moment.
Yes?
I just wanted to bend your ear for a moment before you go. Now, I know you accepted the contract with the intention to prosecute whoever was responsible for Doc, but the work you did in investigating, capturing Jessica, and frankly, saving our hides is worth more than this court could possibly pay out. It may not be much, but I think you've earned your compensation. He hands you each a hefty sack filled with gold. Do let us know if you're ever looking for work, though I think you've earned some rest.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
The sun sets on Olmaricya. Beautiful pinks and purples fill the wintry sky as we pan to the interior of Hot Apothecary. Viper, Thomas, Gary, Grisabeth, Calvin, Teronicus, Monique, and Terry crowd around the too small table with Millie, with a Y, and Viper's parents enjoying a lovely home-cooked meal.
Oh, Winston, this is just divine.
Well, thank you very much. Viper made the soup.
Oh, a girl of many talents.
Well, my dad taught me everything I know, so I can't take all the credit.
Are you guys doing anything tomorrow? My dad was hoping we could have some people over at Until Dawn for a belated giftmas kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm afraid I won't be available.
Yeah, we'll find a way to make it our own. It's okay, just wanted to extend an invitation. Thomas, you busy?
I think I'll be sleeping, but I might stop by for a little bit.
All right. Dinner wraps up, and you all begin to clean up and settle in for some hot cocoa before bed. Viper, Millie approaches you in the kitchen.
Hey, Nessie?
Yes?
I have a question, and I want you to think about it before you say no.
Okay.
Can I come with you tomorrow?
I already talked to Dad about it, and obviously I can't go and stay forever, but I really want to see Longreach. And that Gary guy said that they need to open a ton more stores and all that stuff, and maybe we could open a second shop up there so we can come and visit you all the time.
I think that's not entirely up to me, but if you want to come with me, maybe we can ask that Gary guy if we could have a guest.
Yay! And before you even finish, she just hugs you.
At least for a few days.
Okay. And you embrace as Winston, your father, comes into the room, taps around, definitely grabs a set of mugs from the cupboard, and places a kiss on your forehead. I'm very proud of you, Agent Hale.
Thank you, Dad.
We pan up into the dark blue sky. The true moon shines brightly, and orbiting just below it, just out of sight, is a small ship. A metallic craft unlike anything of this world. If it is Leptech, it is about as high-tech as they know how to make. Inside, we see Barb and Blue. Barb lies on a table, eyes shut off, as Blue sets aside some tweezers and welds a panel back into place. We see Barb's eyes light back up.
Are you still with us? How do you feel?
I feel fine.
Would you like the good news or the bad news?
The bad news. Please.
Okay. The bad news is Agatha did tamper with you. She was manipulating you both emotionally and physically.
Great.
He reaches behind him and picks up a small shard of obsidian glass.
This was what allowed her to literally get in your head. But the good news is, it's out now.
He places it into a vacuum-sealed tube, and before you know it, the shard gets sucked up and shot out into the dark expanse of space.
You were not created by Agatha.
Oh.
She had no hand in how you came to be or what your directive is.
Well, is it awful for me to say that might make me feel worse?
No. But however you feel, you are now truly in control of your own destiny.
Ooh. That's terrifying, I think. Well, everyone always makes it seem like it's terrifying, so it's terrifying.
He leans in, and you can almost hear like a cheeky smile in his voice as he says,
Try not to think about it too much. So, what would you like to do now?
I don't know. But I think I would like to take all the time I want to figure it out.
The universe is much larger than you can fathom. There are many places for one to search for purpose. Would you like to see?
Yeah, I would.
From the ground, we see a brief, tiny flash of light. And just like that, you're off to explore the vast unknown.
Come on, Mr. Mogbile, let's go.
Gary, you are awoken to the sound of Grisabeth's voice rushing you out the door.
We're gonna be late.
All right, it's just not fitting right, this freaking coat. Hold on.
Oh, here you go. Come here, let me fix that for you.
Calvin comes up to you and he says,
Dad, am I gonna have to go to that school?
Well, of course you gotta go to school, Cal.
I don't want to go to that school. Silas and Solara said that their mom used to teach them everything, and we could just stay at home and play games.
No, you gotta go to school, Cal. It's how you're gonna get big and smart, like your daddy. Okay, so.
Okay, fine.
That's life, Cal. It ain't always fun.
That's fun when I hang out with you.
That's right.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you too. You don't have to wait till school. Daddy can teach you whenever.
Okay, as long as you promise to keep teaching me cool stuff, then I'll go to school.
As long as you promise to keep being a good boy.
Okay.
Okay. All right. He tussles his hair.
And he runs out the door as the two of you head down through the streets of Longreach. Eventually you bump into Silvio, and you see he's waiting with his kids, and he goes, I didn't think you were going to make it. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
You get in line, you see that everyone is already crowded around. Yargan is there, Viper and Terry are there, Silas and Solera are there with the two of them, and you attend the grand opening of the Mogbile Academy for the Heroically Inclined. As Grisabeth goes through the motions and gives her opening speech and goes on too many tangents telling stories about you and your family, you stand back, proud but off in the background, near Yargan and Viper, or as you now know her, Bailiff Hale. And Yargan leans in and says, Bailiff, how do you think a judge's wig would look on the lad? And he points to Gary. Might need to trim the robe a bit, but it could work.
Gary rolls his eyes.
Do they make wigs that small?
Yeah, he takes his own wig off and puts it on you, Gary, and he says, why don't you swing by the court later? Let's have a little chat about your future. Hey.
Very well.
Thomas, you pull up to the courthouse of East Orgea. The same stone steps where this entire journey began not too long ago. As you arrive, Monique steps up to you. There you are. Glad you could make it, Thomas. Come on in.
Okay.
You step into the courthouse, down the halls and into the courtroom. Within, you see Judge Gardner, in his usual robe and wig. Seated at a bench are Q and Jeremy Baramy. You also see Judge Ulrach from the Court of Brookhaven, Judge Russell of West Orgea, Judge Wixworth of the Northern Isles, Judge Enigmatos of Serenity, and now Judge Rockbottom of Longreach. Mr. Phelps, welcome. Take a seat.
Okay.
As you all know, our court system has been broken. For too long, we've governed independently, with no care or compassion for our neighbors. I believe we can do better. I believe we can become worthy of the responsibility we bear. He looks very meaningfully at you, Thomas, in your new form. You now stand upright, with flesh covered in metallic silvery scales. I believe we can live up to the name of justice. I also believe that all of you might share some of those beliefs. So, I'd like to form a committee. A committee of our sharpest legal minds that will work openly and transparently to the public to establish guidelines based in care and compassion. Guidelines established with the aim of bettering all our communities. Because we are at our strongest when we work together. If you are so inclined, I would like to welcome you to the first ever Board of Justice.
I'm honored. It's good to have one now in place where all of you, my assistants, can help me reach this goal of
assistance is crazy.
Of justice. It's a long journey ahead, but we can do it.
Monique stifles a chuckle as everyone else kind of furrow their brows in confusion as you kind of very casually glossed over what you just said. Judge Gardner shakes his head and says, well, then let's get to work.
This has been Your Honor. Your Honor features the vocal talents of Amanda Fernandez-Acosta as Barbara, Hannah Schooner as Viper, Michael Pisani as Jessica Feltcher, Nicholas Benetatos as Gary Mogbile, Nicholas Palazzo as Thomas Phelps, and T.J. Barry as Teronicus. The rest of the world is voiced by your GM, Giancarlo Herrera, with editing by Hannah Schooner and Giancarlo Herrera, and sound design by Giancarlo Herrera. Thank you all so much for listening to our biggest season by far, Your Honor. This season has been publishing for going on 4 years now, and it is a much bigger, more sprawling, more epic story than any of us ever imagined when we decided to do a lawyer season. We hope you guys have enjoyed it. We had a blast, we learned a lot, and in a lot of ways, this was a little bit of a wish fulfillment campaign. It's a bit of a retooling of the first game that a lot of the cast ever played together in college. So we hope you enjoyed it, and we hope that you are excited for what's coming next. If you haven't already, you can listen to Season 4, Yes Chef, available right now, or Season 5, City of Jerry, a microscopic action-adventure in the style of Osmosis Jones, following a group of immunity agents inside of, well, Jerry, coming this June. It's made on a hack of our Mischief system, available on our Patreon at patreon.com/Drimbus, and launching for free later this year. We are so grateful to all of you for your support, whether you're just listening every week or you support us on the Patreon. We've got more ideas than we could possibly pump out at once, so we hope you'll stick with us as we explore new ideas and maybe some old favorites from time to time. If you enjoy the show, feel free to check out the Patreon at patreon.com/Drimbus, leave us a review, or just share an episode with someone you love. Once again, thank you all so much for your support. Mwah! That was a case from all of us at Whimsic Productions. And I do declare, I'll see you all next season. We're still here. I got bingo. That's my boy.